Hello everyone and welcome to the Community Spotlight. We are here with another tutorial as part of our partnership with Speed Seasons. It's the last game that is part of Speed Seasons. It's going to be Pilotwings. We've got Darkman78 here who's going to be giving us a tutorial. Before we jump into that, just a few quick GDQ and hotfix announcements. SGDQ 2021 online prize submissions are still open. You can go to gamesdonequick.com to find out information about submitting prizes or other dates related to that event coming up. And Frame Fatales, the all-women speedrunning event, will be returning August 15th to the 21st. And game submissions are open until the end of the day tomorrow. So if you wanted to submit for that, you know somebody else wanted to submit, they are running out of time. Make sure they get that in. And if you're watching on YouTube, come check us out over at twitch.tv/GDQ sometimes. See us as we do these shows live. And we would appreciate it if you consider subscribing to our Twitch channel, as Hotfix is funded in part thanks to your subscriptions and bits. If you tune in tomorrow, you will see Time Capsule starting off at 7 p.m. Eastern with the second half of their Final Fantasy X run. It was too long to do in one show, so it's being split between two shows. And if you missed the first half, you can go to our YouTube where we have all of our VODs. You can find the first half. Actually, I don't think it's up yet. They might be waiting until the second half is done. But you can check out our VOD library on Twitch if it's not up on YouTube yet. And of course, if you'd want to see information about Hotfix or submit a game to be on one of our shows, you can go to gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. There's a form in the bottom left you can fill out there. But with all of that out of the way, Darkman, how you doing today?
I am wonderful. How are you, Ray?
I'm doing pretty well. We've got Alpha 5 here to help a little bit. He's hanging out. He's going to be learning. But this is the last of the open races for Speed Seasons coming up in 2 weeks. So why don't you give people the rundown if they want to join in on what is basically a Mystery Tournament Classic at this point.
Yeah. So Mystery Tournament Classic is a strong word for the way people look at this game. It is a game that people will eventually end up being forced to play. Forced in heavy quotation marks. But anyway, so yeah, this is Speed Seasons. This is the last game, so I'll give the very, very brief version if you're not familiar with it. We announced the game. Yesterday we announced Pilotwings. We have our expert runner run the game. Our expert runner is Darkman, and he did a great job yesterday attempting to do the extremely optimal strats for this game. It is very hard. And then the next day we should give you a tutorial, and in 2 weeks, so you can learn it over those 2 weeks, and then we have a big race at the end of it. And if you win the race, you earn prizes that are provided by me. You earn points, which can qualify you for a top 8 bracket, which those top 8 brackets also get more prizes provided by me. All of that information is on speedseasons.com. And again, these races are open to anybody. So again, if you haven't participated in the rest of the event, you can still join this Pilotwings race. And if you've never played Pilotwings, it is a lot of fun to play. It is very hard to do extremely well, but it is still easy enough to get a good time in. It's very fun. I would recommend it if you are interested in that. It's only a 2-week commitment to maybe learn the game, or if maybe you just join the race having never played it before. We've had plenty of people do that in this event so far.
It'll take you a while going in without learning it for this game, though.
It took me 5.5 hours, although I felt robbed of my sub 5 hour because I went through the final helipad. But that's a different issue. But yeah, it's a great game. Yeah, we're gonna land on the land and not through the land. That's very important.
That's the goal.
Right there.
See, I figured that was like the most important part. I figured I'd start off with the most important objective is make sure you land on the land. So.
Yes, it's very important.
All right. Well, I guess without further ado, we can kind of get things started. I guess we can start the timer whenever, right?
Yeah.
So, so this is Pilotwings. This tutorial is going to be a little bit... I haven't watched previous Speed Seasons tutorials, spoilers, but it's kind of this tutorial is going to be in kind of like 2 parts. The first part, I'm kind of go over just some basics of the game, as well as like speed tech things, as well as just like considerations that you should be looking out for as you're not only just playing through the game, but also speedrunning the game. And then the second half, I'll kind of do like the level by level tutorial, kind of giving you the strats, also like route options and like things that you should need to be aware of as you're speedrunning the game. So let's go ahead and kick things off. So we're gonna go ahead and go into trainer number 4. If I can just grab this password real quick. Passwords, yeah, very important, by the way. You can just Google them, and you'll have them if you need to practice on your own. If you like me, you use too many save states, and you can't overwrite them. What are you gonna do? So just password. But anyway, so for those who are not familiar with Pilotwings, it is basically a flight sim sort of game. You have different disciplines that you do throughout the levels. There's 4 different trainers, and you end up doing 8 levels with the trainers, and you do 2 separate levels that are exclusively based on the helicopter. So yeah, so we have the plane, we have skydiving, we have rocket belt, and we also have hang glider. So this level 4 we have over here, this shows you all 4 of them. Within the other levels, you usually have either 2 or 3. So yeah, you'll need to basically be a master of all of them, except the plane. Because hopefully, if you do everything well in your speedrun, you will never touch the light plane, because it's super slow. However, if you're like me, like yesterday, if you were watching, I had to use the plane, simply because sometimes you're trying these really hard strats and it just doesn't work out, so you kind of need to audible. So yeah. Yeah, let's go over kind of like the basics. Oh yeah, first thing I wanted to explain real quick for the runners learning this game is Japanese is faster than English, but for the sake of explanation, because I'm going to be kind of showing you some of the in-game explanations of things, I might be using English for this. So yeah, so let's go with our 4 little kind of objectives here. Let me just make this real quick save state here. Okay, great. So we're going to go with the light plane first. So it's kind of self-explanatory. Fly the plane. You kind of have your maneuvers over here, you know. It's flight sim stuff, so, you know, down goes up goes down, you know, that sort of thing. And then speed up, speed down, right? Fairly simple, not really much to explain here. You have a plane. In this instance, we are going to be taking off, but yeah, just get your speed up, that sort of thing. Hold down, very important, because if you don't hold down after a while here, you just end up crashing the plane. That's not good. So yeah, you can see it's pretty simple. Fly the plane, it moves left and right, and then we die. And then you can adjust your speed. If your speed is too low, like right here, you won't be able to go up, and you'll just crash. So that is the plane. Let's go over skydiving. So skydiving is also fairly simple to understand. Obviously with skydiving, you never go up really, you're just always going down. So for that matter, you're basically just trying to control the angle, or I guess the, you know, what direction you are, which will kind of put you closer to your goal. And of course, you can open your parachute. So yeah, we'll just like kind of take you through the skydiving real quick. All right, press A at the beginning of skydives to get you up here fast. So yeah, you can see I'm kind of like moving in the air, you know, my guy's kind of doing its thing. If you're pointing down, you go down faster, you know, kind of basic physics, right? If you're, you know, on the side, you go down slower, but as you can see, he's going farther away from his objective, because yeah, that's how this game works. So yeah, so you just kind of maneuver your guy, sort of thing. And it'll tell you when you can open your parachute. You don't have to do it when it says it immediately. In fact, you want to wait, because, you know, if you open your parachute early, your parachute goes a lot slower than if you were to kind of open it later. So it's in your advantage to open it as late as possible. But if you open it too late, you end up just falling to the ground. So that's not good. The target is small, by the way. So yeah, so that's the parachute. And then we'll get into the rocket belt. Rocket belt is also... that's scoring. We'll get into that later. Rocket belt is honestly probably the easiest... discipline, I think, for people kind of first learning this game and first playing this game to kind of get used to. It's really like you have a lot of control over it, right? Like you see here, like I'm just chilling right here, right? Like I have full control over these jets and how they're going. One is low power, one is high power. So you can see, right? Like I have like full control, right? So okay, so I've gone too high. Let's kind of take things simple here. All right, let's kind of reset our momentum, and look at that. We're like back in the air, and it's cool. So yeah, so there's a lot of like kind of control with the rocket belt, but it does get hard because of that, with what you have to do later on in terms of objectives. So yeah, all right, let's fall through the ground. Nice. Oh, I forgot about that animation. It's been so long. That was not my target, by the way. Alright, so, and then we have Hang Glider. Hang Glider is probably the one people struggle with the most. Simply because it is just very hard to control. Like, you see the controls are really simple, right? So, you know, down goes up goes down, that sort of thing. And then you have your flare. That's it, right? But the problem isn't really the amount of controls, but rather like how you control it. So, of course, naturally with a hang glider, you're always going down pretty much, and you're just kind of controlling that downward trend, unless you take one of those clouds over there, which kind of takes you up. But the tricky thing is like, especially when there's wind, right, is like, you're off a little bit and things can go out of control, especially when it comes to landing. So obviously I'm not ready to land because I have to pass 2 rings, but I'll just show you kind of like how difficult landing is. Let's just like kind of set myself up here. So yeah, right, like it's hard for me to kind of set things up, right, because I can't control the altitude too much, so I need to kind of instead compensate with distance. That's how I control like how accurate I am, right? So anyway, so here's landing, right? So say I'm aiming for this gray target over here and I'm using this flare over here. Like, look at this, right? Like, I can't do anything here. Like, I'm just stuck. And now I'm gonna be like right here, right? It's like, it's super hard to really control your hang glider until you get used to it. By the way, even if you land, if you do like, even if you land out of the area, but you do everything else correctly with the hang glider, you get like 60 points. So that's cool. So yeah, so those are the disciplines. So it's kind of like the basics of each of them, and you basically just play through the game, play through each of them to kind of feel how it works, learn from it. Yeah. So let's talk about the objective system a little bit. So you'll see with each discipline, you have a scoring system. So in this case, it tells you for the play and like what you have to do. You have to be accurate. You have to have a time bonus, an angle bonus, an arch bonus. This is why we avoid the plane. There's so many nuances to it. So, you know, in this case, the arch is the objective. So you have to do the objective first before you can actually land the plane. Same for any other thing, right? Same for rocket belt, same for skydiving, same for hang glider. You have to actually do the objective before you can land. Actually, skydiving, you don't need to do the objective before you can land. You can just land. So yeah, so you also need to you need to be aware basically of like what the objectives are and like what each objective gives you points wise, because you may be in a situation where you have to kind of figure out what's the best way to get the points that you need. You know, in some cases maybe, oh, like it's okay if I get only 90 points instead of 100 points on this discipline because getting 100 might take me too long, but I can spend like a minute on this plane here, get 10 free points, and then just move on, right? So being aware of like what each objective does and like how long it takes for you to get that and how accurate you have to be to get that is really important in order to progress through the game. Obviously, if you're really good and you just keep getting bonuses, you don't have to worry about objectives at all, but unfortunately for most of us, we're not that good, especially with the limited time frame that we have to learn the game. So yeah, so that's the plane objective. Skydiving, there is no objective. It's simply just get the rings and then be accurate and get the speed bonus. Speed bonus is interesting in that the speed bonus isn't just time-based. It's actually... the speed bonus is actually based on how you land too. So I'll go into that a little bit later once we kind of get into that, but the speed base is has its nuances, right? So we have the rocket belt 2. So the rocket belt always has an objective. It doesn't show it here, but it'll tell you at the beginning of the mission. Like for instance, for Big Al, like it'll say, right? It'll say like, get these rings. All right, it doesn't tell you what to do, but it's kind of obvious what you have to do, right? Get these rings. So yeah, that's the rocket belt. Oh yeah, it says it right there in the curriculum. There you go. It's who reads. So that's your objective. Make sure you do that objective with the rocket belt, otherwise you won't be able to get points. So yeah, so that's points. It's pretty simple for rocket belt. Really not too much going on. And then hang glider, you have to get through the rings in Al's case, and then your scoring system. You have time and you have speed. So I actually forgot what's the difference between time and speed and hang glider. Do you remember, Alpha?
I think time is actually time, and speed might be landing, or one of the two.
Yeah, that might be so, because like I always usually get the 30 and the 20, so I can't remember like why. Yeah, so probably has to do with that. Well, and then accuracy, of course, is how close you are to the target. Like I said, the fun thing about accuracy is like It's huge, as you can tell, but like you get so many points from time and speed that like it isn't terrible if you just aren't very accurate with the hang glider. As long as you land it correctly, that's like the most important thing. So yeah, those are the kind of basics of how the game works, and from here on in, we can kind of just go a little bit more into the game and just how it works. I kind of showed hang glider earlier with how that works, but I also want to show you. Let's see if we can do this real quick here while I'm kind of going through this. So I want to show you like how no, speed isn't how fast you travel, or speed isn't in relation to like miles per hour or anything like that. It's simply in relation to the time, I believe, up in the right hand corner. So you can see like on the screen I have the time here, and you need to make sure you just land within a certain time. Usually it's like a minute 30, 2 minutes, something like that. So just make sure you just kind of like for hang glider, it's pretty hard not to get that. I guess you can like theoretically just like take this smoke up and then take another smoke up and then take another, like just keep taking up smokes because like something doesn't look right to you. But for the most part, you're just gonna hit this, hit these rings and you're gonna get ready to land. So all right, so I'm gonna show you some of the intricacies about how landing works. Yeah, so the speed is in relation to the landing. Yeah, that's what we think. So we're gonna find out actually. The time is in relation to simply time, but the speed I think is in relation to your landing. So let's show you here. So I'm trying to land on that gray thing, right? So what I can do is like notice the bar on the right, and notice how it started flashing, and notice how I landed on my butt. So this is what speed should be referring to. Yeah, so you notice I got 0 out of 20 there. So if I landed properly, if I didn't fall too fast, then he lands with his feet up. And then that tells you it's a great landing. So that's the difference. You can keep adjusting your speed as you need to, but if you keep trying to go faster and faster or something like that, or you keep trying to hold down that flare, you will get to the point where you're just going too fast and you won't get that bonus. So you kind of have to juggle between the two sort of speeds in order to kind of do things properly. That's kind of the harder part about this game, right? It's not just being accurate and being on the right spot. It's also like controlling the speed at which you are, because otherwise you're in the water or you're just not landing well, that sort of thing. So yeah, so that's hang glider. Let's see what else we want to talk about. Yeah, so that's hang glider. Yeah, so another thing is like you want to figure out like what works for you. Like we were talking about this yesterday, Alpha and I, and that like, what was it you liked better? I think you like Rocket Belt better than hang glider, right, Alpha?
I like like Rocket Belt, hang glider, plane, and then skydiving are my preference order.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so that's like Alpha's preference, but like for me, like I'm not the best Rocket Belter, ironically. So like I'm gonna like this is something I was gonna do in a little bit, but like it's relevant now, so I'm just gonna like shit. So every discipline except the plane has an objective. A bonus objective. And if you get that bonus objective, regardless of how well you do, you get 100 points in the mission, and you get an opportunity to get more points. So getting the bonus is pretty cool, and it's really essential to skipping the plane. So in this case, this bonus objective is this little moving platform here, but with the Rocket Belt, you kind of have to like be super accurate, right? Oh yeah, you can shift fuse. You have to be like super accurate, right? Otherwise, you're just gonna end up like, just like you see how my rocket is like moving ever so slightly. That's due to wind and just due to momentum. So like, you can try to be like, oh, I'm gonna like kind of hover around this platform or whatever. No, you can't do that, right? Because like you're just constantly moving. So not only do you have to like hover and get yourself lined up, you also have to like kind of like take advantage of momentum, right? So like, this is the problem I have personally or with Rocket Belt. Like, being able to do this is like absolutely impossible. So I'm just gonna like run out of fuel by the time this is over, right? So let's see if I can do this. Oh wow, I actually did it.
Yeah, I was gonna say there were a couple times where if you just let go, you definitely would have landed it.
That's the thing, right? It's like it's also like a combination of like just like what's I'm looking for, being like confident, right? Because like you have to be super confident with what you do in this game, otherwise you're probably just gonna end up dying, or just like not do what you want to do at all. Isn't there a hover button in Rocket Belt? So there's the low power and the high power. The blue, which is the high power, makes you go faster, and the orange one, which is the low power, makes you go slower. So you kind of want to juggle both when you're using the Rocket Belt to kind of like give you the proper momentum. Yeah, this is just the hang glider bonus. It's cool. I was gonna show you all the bonuses a little bit later, but yeah. So that's like what goes to show you. Like, I feel much more confident on the hang glider, ironically, over the Rocket Belt. So I'll tend to like favor that. But like for other people, they may favor the Rocket Belt over the hang glider. They may even favor skydiving over the other two. Which, whew, you're really good at this game if that's the case. But yeah, it's just like you have a lot of options with this game. So it's important that you kind of play through, get a feel for things before realizing what it is that you think is best for your run. So, all right. So let's see. So I talked about that. Okay. So yeah, let's talk about bonus rounds. So yeah, of course, as I mentioned earlier, there are for everything but the plane, there's bonus objectives. So if you land on the proper bonus objective, you get the bonus, you get your 100 points, and then you get the bonus round. So let's talk about what each one you could possibly get. So first I'm going to show you skydiving. So you have this cute little penguin, right? And the penguin just jumps off the diving board, and then you just land in the pool. And you can see, you can't see very clearly, but you can basically see, right? Now you can see very clearly, right? There's point values. So you want to jump into the right section of the pool to get you the right point values. 50 points, that's always pretty good, right? Actually, in that one, there's actually a 70 point in the corner. Let's see if I can get it. It's actually like more difficult than you think. Nope. So, yeah.
I thought you had
I
it.
never go for this. I never go for the 70. And then Tony just like, BMs you because why not? So yeah, so that's one option. But the interesting thing about the penguin is there's actually 3 different types of penguin stages you can get. As far as I know, it's purely random as to which one you get. At least that's what I've seen. So this is the first one, right? We have this one, and then we have this one, which is actually really cool because if you just need 20 points, the 20-point one is like literally right in front of you. It's pretty free. So yeah, there's 20, 45, 10, 30, you can see that. And then there's also the side pull, which gives you 60. So that's the really nice thing about skydiving bonuses. Not only is it super fast to do, it gives you the most points, like the easiest way to get the most points. So definitely, if you're really good enough to do skydiving, I would highly recommend it. The problem is skydiving, I think, is the hardest bonus to get, especially as you get to the later stages where you have a lot more wind. So yeah, so we have this one, we have this one, and then we have this one. This is the hardest one, I think, is the hardest one. So you can kind of see there's like a center target over there. And the thing is the point values aren't very good, and the rings are very tiny. So like you can see what the point values are. Yeah, if I miss that 50, that's 50 is the highest you can get. If I miss that 50, I get a 5, which is not ideal. So I think this is the hardest one. I would recommend practicing this one. Like, save state it or do whatever it is you do, and just keep practicing it. Because if you get this, say, in like Tony's stage, and you land in that 10, or you land in that, actually that's 20, I think that's fine. But like, if you like land in anything but the 20 of the 50, you're in deep trouble. Alright, so yeah, I landed in 10. Now I actually have to do the plane, which kind of sucks. So I would definitely recommend practicing the bonus stage. So that is skydiving. Up next, I believe, is hang gliding. I forgot which one I did. Yeah, hang gliding. So I'm not gonna do much, but you can see I can't control the thing in terms of like going up and down. It does that for you. Instead, what you can do is you can control the speed at which the little hang glider thingy. I don't even know what you want to call that. Sorry, that's the Rocket Belt bonus. Yeah, whatever. Can we call this like the Rocket Belter? All right, we're gonna call this the Rocket Belter. Yeah, so you can control the speed at which you go. Right? I went in the water. Unfortunate. So the goal of the hang glider is to make sure you're properly lining yourself up so you can go on like these big things, which will help you kind of bounce onto the P. As you can see, the objective is to bounce on the P. And the P gives you a certain amount of points. See, P is for points, right? So there you go. I got 10 points there. And if I go to the right here, I got another 10 points. And if I go to the middle one here, I got another 10 points. You may be asking, well, actually, let me show you. So you have, with the P, you have either a choice of getting 10 or 5 points. So I'm going to show you right here. I'm going to bounce onto P. And that's 5 points, right? And if I go here, wait, that's 10 points. So the P's are actually set per level. I don't 100% know this. Maybe Alpha, you might know this, but I believe where the P values are is dependent on which stage you do the rocket build in.
That I'm not sure of. I'd seen 2 different ones. Are you talking about stage like trainer?
Yes.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that seems accurate.
Okay, yeah, that's what I think, but I haven't actually verified this yet because like I haven't had a chance to really like. I don't do a lot of rocket belt bonus, as I kind of alluded to earlier. I kind of do more of the hang gliding bonus. So the reason why I know this one in particular, it seems like for level 2, it's always the case that it's this one, where it's always left P is the 10 points, then right P is the 10 points, then middle P at the end is 10 points, and that gives you your 30 points. So you land this, right? Then you land this. And then you land that, and that's your 30 points. And then you're going to go ahead and go on the little thing. You go up. Ooh, can we hit the 30? Not quite. Oh, maybe. Not quite. Anyway, so one thing is that I kind of haven't made clear is you control your speed by holding up or holding down. Yeah, I kind of made the allusion to that. If you hold down, you end up going slower. If you hold up, you go faster, right? So like you want to kind of alternate between those two based on like what's going on. So yeah. So that's the rocket belt bonus. I would definitely recommend just like kind of playing this through a few times just so you get comfortable with it. And then,
so a question.
Oh yeah, I don't. What's up?
Does your speed stay constant? Like, so if you stop holding up, do you slow down over time, or do you need to hit down to slow down?
So at the beginning, you're pretty much moving super slow, but you do want to alternate between up and down, because like if you hold the upright, you see me going fast, and like the bouncy thingy, whatever you call that, is gonna like maintain my momentum, right? So the only way to slow down is hold that down, right?
Okay.
Like holding that down will get you to kind of like go a lot slower. So yeah, you definitely need to alternate between up and down in order to kind of like judge your speed. So the last bonus is hang glider bonus, and I forgot to have a save state of that one, but it's also the most self-explanatory bonus out there. It's literally just mash the button. Let me see if I can get it real quick. Hold on. See if I happen to have a. I can't believe I saved that. Ooh, all right.
Land on land.
All right, let's see if I can get this bonus. This is 7, by the way. I'll go into this later, but this is a really hard hang glider bonus to get. Let's see if I can get it.
So I did have one question while
What's
you
up?
are trying to land on the bonus platform, because I didn't even realize you could land without getting a great landing with the hang glider. I thought you just crashed. But can you
Yes.
do you need a great landing to land these bonuses?
Nope. That's the nice thing. You do not. You just need to land. And don't fall. So like with skydiving, for instance, right? Like if you're going too fast, you can fall through the bonus platform. But with hang gliding, you can't fall too fast. It simply just messes up your speed, which isn't relevant for this. So let's see here. This might be okay. Well, that's unfortunate.
Oh.
All right, hold on. Let's try that again. That's actually almost really good. Let's try that again. This again. All right, we'll give it a couple of times because I'm gonna have to go back to this anyway.
I thought you were gonna first
Yes.
try it after talking up how hard it was.
Well,
That would have been great.
I almost happened to be 2 in the run yesterday, where I almost first tried Lance, and then I proceeded to like 6 try it. So that's how that works.
Lance is a jerk.
Lance is a jerk. I agree. Yeah, let's control my speed here. Yeah, so you can see right here, right? Like, you can see the wind is like such a huge factor right now. It just keeps pushing me and pushing me. By the way, the thing in the upper left corner is your wind gauge. So the yellow thing is what's kind of like telling you where you're getting pushed. Oh no, bad. All right, let's safe stay like closer to it, so then that will probably like, let's just do this. Alright, we can do this. That should work. Okay, let's see. We can land this, right? I believe.
I believe.
Okay, perfect. Great landing. Yeah, we'll just, I don't need my first save anymore. Yeah, so all this is repeatedly press the button. And when it says repeatedly, I mean repeatedly. You have to super mash. You're going to hear me mash. I'm really bad at mashing, but like, the more you mash, the higher points you get. The maximum you can get is 50. Getting the 50 is super hard. I almost never get it because I'm just not really good at mashing. But yeah, you can see like, I'm continuing to press the button, and if I'm lucky, I'll get 45. Okay, I got the 45. Oh, wait. Oh, it's almost close. Yeah, so it's pretty self-explanatory. Press the button, press it many times. That's how you do hang glider bonus. Very good. So yeah. So those are the bonuses. Alright. Now I wanted to kind of go into some movement tech that you need to be aware of. So let's go back into Mr. Do I have this somewhere? Oh, actually, no. I want... This is probably Tony, right? Yeah, let's go Tony. So one thing to keep in mind with the parachute over here. Yeah, this is fine. Let's just go super... Let's get closer to the thing. Okay, so your altitude is kind of the benchmark you want to use for like landing the parachute. However, something to keep in mind is if you open it too close to the ground, you just can't do anything and you just fall. So you do want to kind of like wait until you like as much as possible generally before opening the parachute. But if you wait too long, that happens and you're just dead, right? So just like keep that in mind in terms of opening the parachute. Now, in terms of kind of momentum, we're gonna kind of show you something right here. So if you open your parachute and then you go ahead and flare up, that's not what I wanted to do. All right, hold on. I gotta like do this right. It's weird because like there's like a thing with the flare, and the flare is like you hold down, right? That's how you flare with the once you have the parachute open. It's like the weird like quirky thing is, let's see if I can get this right. All right. It's like if you hold it down too long, it like super kind of like stalls. I can't even get it. I'm trying to do a trick and I can't do the trick. It's really annoying. I blame Alpha.
Aren't we supposed to be blaming Boney right now?
Holding down.
No, I'm 100% blaming Alpha. What did you say?
Okay,
Alpha?
that's fair.
I said all you do is hold down. I don't know what's going on.
I am holding down. Okay. Let's try that. Alright, you know what? It'll eventually happen. There we go, we landed. Basically what will happen is like if you're kind of like, so the goal of like parachute, which I'm going to show later on, is to like, you want to like control your movement and control your opening of the parachute such that you move as little as possible. And then you line yourself up with the platform. Because if you don't control your movement, and if you kind of wait too long, or excuse me, if you do it too early, what's going to happen is like, it's going to be super hard for you to get the bonus. Like I'm going to like show you what happens if I open it too early, right? So like, let's just go here. Okay. So now we're gonna open the chute. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to get this bonus from here, right? Like, look how much I'm moving, and I have to time it with the platform, right? So it's like super hard. And maybe I'll do it. Okay, I did it. It's not that hard apparently, but it's like, right? Like you have a lot less control, I think, when it comes to hitting the bonus platform when you're in parachute, right? So that's why it's like, not only is it of course faster to kind of wait until the end to open your parachute, but it's also like, I think from a control perspective and a consistency perspective, to just kind of wait until you get to that certain number. So yeah, that's just like kind of one thing to worry about for skydiving. And then another thing I wanted to show you all is for the rock bell. Perfect. I want to kind of get to the bonus part here. Let's get this objective real quick. This is level 3, by the way, if you're curious. Got our 3 rings here. Notice I'm using kind of like the momentum of like the jet to kind of accurately get to the bar. Okay, so I kind of mentioned this earlier, but like you really need to be taking advantage of the low power here. It moves you less. You have less momentum, which is great because it kind of lines you up better for hitting the platforms, and that allows you to kind of hit the right one. Oh, that's too much. I didn't fall down like fast enough, right? So yeah, so use the low power to your advantage. It's even like super useful when you're just like going in the air, right? Because like you see, if I keep using the blue, I just go super high, right? That's like not good. But let's get all the way down here. But if I use this orange one here, whoa, unfortunate. Yeah, there's a lot of momentum there. So you saw like me using the blue there, but like using the low power one there, right? It's like I fly. It takes me a lot longer to kind of go up in the air. So using the orange is really good when you're trying to like maintain your altitude for as long as possible for like these objectives where you have to like, you know, you can't be too high, right? So it's like, it's super helpful in that respect. So definitely take advantage of the low power. It's gonna like do wonders for you. But yeah, so that's like the main thing to look after with skydiving. I kind of went into hang gliding, but it's basically like you want to use a lot of flaring, but you can't use too much flaring. Let's see, I think we have that right. So like, right, I showed you what happens when you flare too much. You just hold it, and like you have 0 control over anything right now when you're flaring. Like you can't do anything. So you're just kind of at mercy to what the wind is doing to you. So instead, you want to kind of like tap flaring, kind of ride the wind a little bit if you want to. But it also kind of like resets your speed, which is like super helpful for hang glider, especially when you're trying to like land on this like, you know, tiny platform, right? Yeah, so doing that flare, doing a lot of flaring kind of helps you with your speed, but make sure not to over flare. So with the hang glider, you want to, like, if you really want to decrease your altitude, which is necessary sometimes, just hold up, and that's it. But like, you can't do it too much, right? Because like, then you're just gonna like super fast. That's like the downside to like just holding up. Because like, look how fast I'm going, right? Like, I can't do anything. I have no control. So it's kind of like a balance between holding down and using your flare, and then like holding down maybe to get some more speed. Like, controlling your speed with the hang glider is super difficult. So you have to kind of like play around a lot with the hang glider. This is probably not going to work. Maybe it will. Hey, alright, it worked. That's the power of the wind, by the way. Like, if I was like, if that wind was pushing me forward, I would have been dead there. So, but yeah, that's kind of like the basics. One other thing I should mention. Let's see if I can get that real quick. There we go. Perfect. One thing you need to be aware of as a general speed tech is I'm going to go ahead and get this bonus here. Right. So I've now passed level 1. I'm now certified. So yeah, so one of the most important speed techs is as soon as you see this menu, reset. Because resetting will take you back to the title screen, and you will basically automatically input this password. So you'll see right here. So I press the reset, and then the password's already there. Perfect. If you don't reset, and you just like let the cutscene play out, you're just gonna go to the same exact screen you were when you reset. So I'll just show you that real quick. All right. I am now certified again. Okay. So yeah, so you get your thing. I have an A-class license. It's wonderful. And I press my start, and yeah, you're basically there. So it definitely helps to reset there. So that's kind of the basics, quote unquote, of the game. Hopefully I haven't confused everybody. I probably have, but that's okay. So from here on in, I can kind of like talk more about the speedrun in particular and kind of like route options and stuff like that. Ray and Alpha, I don't know if you had any questions before I kind of dive into that.
Dive into it?
I'm good.
Yes, dive into it.
I'm good.
Cool. All right. So let's go ahead and get things started. I'm not going to time anything. Okay, so we're going to go level by level. So I'm going to kind of show you some of the general things that you need to be aware of in each level. I'm also going to show you kind of specific strats. Some may be optimal, some may be not. Actually, most are probably not. But the thing about optimal strats in this game is the fastest strats are extremely hard to pull off. If you're confident in them and you want to go for them, by all means, but there's no shame in playing safer strats, especially if you just can't pull off one of the harder strats, because safer strats are, of course, safer, and the harder strats are inherently super risky, and failing one time could potentially mean minutes lost. So yeah. And it's also just like super hard to actually like execute the harder strats. But I'm still gonna show you some hard strats that I think are really doable for new runners, and they'll save you a lot of time. So let's start off with one here. So we start off with Tony. Just pause your way through everything, and just start your way through everything. And yeah, so you have two options with level 1. So you can opt to do skydiving and get the bonus, or you can do the light plane. So hopefully, if you're going fast, you're never using the plane. But I'm going to show you this anyway, because sometimes you just don't have a good time with the skydiving and you need backup. So anyway, I'm going to be using the skydiver's head as kind of like a way to determine where I'm going. And basically, what you want to do is you want to end up like right before the little corner of the water here. And then I'm going to open my parachute, and that puts me in a perfect spot. So I'm going to go through this again because there's kind of a lot to break down here. So let's do a reset. So the thing is like, it's to control the skydiver properly, it's not just about opening your parachute at the right time and being at the proper altitude. It's also about what you do beforehand. And lining yourself up on the correct position is what's going to like lead you up for success. I basically want to end up around the corner, like right before it, like on the front side. So the corner being the gray over here. And then I open my parachute at around 400 feet, and that lines me up perfectly. See, that's the great thing about this bonus, is you can land on that corner, and if the platform is coming while you're landing, it doesn't matter if you didn't land on the platform's going to kind of pick you up. So it's kind of like a little cheaty way to get that bonus, right? So you have a lot more leeway if you like kind of set yourself up for that sort of option. If you don't like aim for that corner, if you're not able to, you're basically at the mercy of finding the platform, right? So yeah. So I'll do it once again. Yeah, I'll kind of like show you what happens if you don't aim for that corner. Also, the wonderful thing about level 1 is there's 0 wind, so you don't have to worry about being pushed anywhere. You just like simply do what you want to do. That's kind of like what makes this game so much more difficult. Is not only you trying to line up what you want to do and like being super precise with that. There's also wind, which will just like be really annoying and stuff like that. So, all right, let's see if we can try to show you what happens when you land without using the corner. So now I have to kind of like line myself up, right? So like I was able to do it, but obviously there's a lot less room for error, right? Because if I don't hit the platform there, I'm landing in the water probably, so that's not very good. So yeah, I would recommend trying to do the corner strat. So I'll kind of do it one more time here. I want to make a point to kind of like show lesson 1 a lot, because I think this is, I know this is the easiest bonus to hit, and I think with a little bit of practice you'll be able to get this, so I would highly recommend everybody go for this bonus. It's like, of course it's the easiest bonus to hit because it's level 1, but it's like super doable. It really doesn't take a lot of time to learn the level 1 bonus. I don't know, I'm sure it was fairly easy for you, right?
This is possible. Can't do it.
Is it possible? What? Wait, that's
skydive.
possible? That's possible?
Did you just bounce off of it?
Yeah.
That happened to me. That's why.
That wasn't the part that like I thought was weird. Like that happens. That's just momentum. I didn't realize that you could land on top of the water because of that. That's the funny part. God, what a video game. So
I feel like it's just Tony. Like is just lying to you. Tony has some curious hitboxes around his non-bonus goal, the 70. It's not quite accurate.
I see. Yeah, so I'm not even going to show you doing skydiving normally because it's just simply not necessary. Because I'm going to do this one more time just to kind of like give you a feel for this. And then I'm going to show you the alternate strat, which is super consistent.
Alternate strat is great.
The alternate strat is pretty good, and it's like very high success rate. If you fail the alternate strat, well, I don't know what to tell you. Oh, I messed up. That's fine. Okay, yeah, I'm going to show you the alternate strat. So if you don't want to get the bonus, there's an alternate strat for level 1. It involves flying the plane. Flying the plane in level 1 is not too bad. It's pretty fast. All you have to do is, the game literally sets you up for success. You are totally centered. You can get 100 points. Literally all you have to do is get these like little orbs here. Get all of them. Alright, very simple, right? Like I'm just like controlling my plane. Super easy. Super easy. Keep going. And then as soon as you hit the last orb, which is the next one, or sorry, the one after that, then reduce your speed and land the plane. And make sure you hold up while you're landing until you're at 0. Once you're at 0, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I hit my plane, I get my 100. Tony's very shocked. I can fly. Yeah, the faces are so good. Like that's like one of the best parts of this game. Alright, so now I need 20 points. And I am going to spoil the strat unlike yesterday, because you need 20 points. Well, let me open up the scoring menu for you. And do you notice in the rings that if you hit all 3, you get 20 points? Guess what we're going to do? We're going to hit all 3 rings, because once you do that, you got 20 points, and you can, just watch the magic happen. See, look at that. Not even holding my controller. I mean, you can't see my webcam, but I'm not even holding my controller, and I missed the ring.
Just land anywhere.
Yeah, just land. Hold on, let me do this again.
Oh, you could have got.
You
the
showboated too early, Darkman.
All right, let me show this strat again. All right.
Oh,
I gotta adjust my skydiver correctly here.
A disaster in slow motion. We all saw it coming.
Alright, this is good. Now we're set up for success, alright? So we got our ring here, and now we can just do this. This is the best part of this strat. Look at that, look at that. It's beautiful. So, as you can see, even though we crashed, we have 20 points. And Tony asked if I did that on purpose, and the answer is yes. So yeah, that's how you pass 1 as a backup strat. Again, it's like unless you pull what I just did right there, it's like almost guaranteed you're gonna get those 120 points doing that, right? So, I guess I can just do the plane instead of like passwording. I'll just like show the plane again, just like increase your speed, press the A, increase your speed all the way up to 99, and just get the rings. It's like, get the orbs. It's like super simple. It's foolproof, I say. Until I miss a ball, then it's not foolproof. All right, yeah, we're just gonna pretend nothing happened. Don't worry about anything. I'm just gonna password. And
while you're passwording, I had seen a couple people in chat ask if you have to do the objectives before getting the bonuses. As far as I'm aware, you don't for skydiving because it's just bonus points to go through the rings, but you do for hang gliding and rocket belt.
That's
or
correct.
You didn't follow the rules. Am I correct in that?
Correct. You are correct. That is exactly what you need to do. The plane has objectives as well, but yes, skydiving there is no objective. It's simply just land. There's just the optional objective of getting the rings. You're not required to get them. But for rocket belt and hang gliding, yes, each one has an objective. Make sure you understand the objective. So like for rocket belt here at level 2 in Shirley, it's get through the 3 rings, and then you can go ahead and do your thing. As it says, if you don't, actually, I'm just gonna show you what happens. So like, okay, I get 1 ring, and then I'm like, okay, all right, now I'm ready to land. What happens? Let's try to land on the bonus, right? This is easy, easiest bonus of my life. And there you go. I lost points, but obviously I landed on the bonus, but it's not doing anything. So yeah, so that's what happens if you don't do the bonus. Alright. Let's actually do level 2 correctly. So, with level 2, with Shirley, you have a few different options. This is where the game starts getting kind of interesting, because you can go through a few different routes now, based on what you feel more comfortable in. The optimal route is definitely to do the skydive, but as I've alluded to earlier, not only is skydiving really hard, but I'm also really bad at it. So I'll attempt to show it to you, because we'll try, but we'll see how effective it's going to be. Again, I don't need the rings, so don't worry about it. So you want to kind of line yourself up with like this outer edge of the water. That's like the best strat that I've seen, and then open my chute and see. Yep. So yeah, it's like super hard, right? Because I'm trying to like line myself up with this moving platform, but if my angle is off by just a little bit, you're going to be off on the moving platform. So I haven't really gotten to the point where like I've gotten super consistent at angles, except for like the number 1, because number 1's like really easy. There's also like a little bit of wind here. That's not enough really to like make you nervous, but it is something to consider. So let's see if I can do it again. Almost. I'll try to do it like a couple more times. I'll try to do it at least until I get it once, hopefully, unless it takes like 5 hours. Alright, so I'm lining myself up here. Let's try this. There we go. What? Are you
Excuse
serious?
me?
I've never seen that before. How is that even possible?
You did the same thing earlier and landed on the water, and this time you fell in.
That is 100%. The Tony one is totally believable. I can understand why that happened. This one, I went forward when the platform was going forward. How is that even possible?
Skydiving's evil.
Excuse me? This doesn't make any sense. I don't understand. Oh my goodness.
Clip that for Boney. He's gonna love that.
So Darkman, has that ever happened before?
No! It is not! Like, it doesn't make any sense. It does not make any sense. It is beyond my brain comprehending.
I don't know why your anger is so funny to me right now. It's just...
How did this happen? I missed that one. And we're gonna try to get it legitimately, hopefully, and not get robbed.
Oh my god.
I'm so mad. This is ridiculous.
I was not prepared.
How is that possible? Okay, like somebody tell me how that's possible. All right, that's all I want to know. If you tell me how that's possible, I'll be okay with that. It did it again.
I did it with a helicopter and a stationary landing platform. I don't really know what to tell you.
I don't. How is okay? Like, tell me, tell me there's like a physics major in here that can like tell me that like I'm not like I'm not like saying something that's like that wrong or whatever. Like tell me like I'm making sense here, right? Like
we could probably fudge something into existence. You've got forward momentum landing onto a platform that also has forward momentum. You kind of skip off of it and gain a little bit of speed. I don't know. It's the best I got.
Alright, let's try this. That didn't work. Oops. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this. I promise. I'm gonna do this and the game's gonna be like cooperating with me. So as you can see, this is why I don't do skydiving, because I'm not very good at it. This might be good. Nope. Alright, that one was a legitimate in the water. I will accept that. Alright, here we go. Feel good about this one. We did it!
Yay!
Alright, so now we hit the skydive, we just do the penguin, so let's see what penguin we get. Of course it's the middle one, because don't want to make my life easy, so let's try to get the 50 point here. And alright, so that should be the 50. So at this point, all we need is 70 points. So if you do this correctly, this is like the optimal strat right here. This is like optimal out of optimal. Because now all I need with Rocket Belt is 70 points, which is awesome. Because now I'm just gonna do a really fast version of the Rocket Belt. So we're gonna get the rings. Pretty simple, right? Alternate between your high powers and your low powers and no power in order to make sure you're going the optimal distance. Alright, we're gonna get these rings. Now it's time to land. And this is where knowing the point totals that you get becomes super valuable, because guess what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna get this. Instead of going all the way to the center. Because, as you can see, my total score is 70. Because I know there's a time bonus, I know there's a speed bonus, and I know with that 40 points, I'm gonna get the 70. So I didn't have to go into the middle and, waste my time kind of landing in the middle, making sure you're accurate and all that. You just kind of fly right into there. So that's what happens when things go really well. Let's see what happens when things don't go super well. So let's see if I can maybe get that bonus again. Maybe, possibly. Who knows? All right. Well, yeah. All right. That one. I'll say yeah. That's reasonable. See, I'm just saying. Why did forward momentum there? It would have been really helpful. I don't like this. Alright. Let's see. Alright, we'll just use this, this tool here, which is really useful. Don't worry about it. Okay, this is really bad. I wonder if I could save this. Nope. Alright. One more time. Basically, what it comes down to is, if things don't go super right here, and I have to kind of, adjust based on, how I get the bonus, then you kind of have to, spend more time. What is going on with me? I'll do it one more time. Let's see. I'll line myself up here. Okay, this lineup's fine. Okay. Now... Will this work? Yeah, alright, sweet. Okay, so I'm gonna like intentionally not get the top score. Alright, let's get the 20 points. Do that. So like this one, right? Like if you get this one, you have to go for the 60 in order to be super optimal. So like if you can't, and you just end up going for like the 20 or something like that, or the 40 or whatever, now you have to get 100 points in order to pass Shirley. So now it becomes a little bit more difficult, right? Like I have to make sure that I'm super accurate with my rocket belt. I'm not like losing points, but I'm gonna lose points because I'm gonna show you a backup strat. So I have to get 100 points, or I have to fly the plane, which is exactly what I'm gonna do. I'd say generally with Shirley, like with level 2 in particular, for the most part, it's pretty easy to not need the plane, but I'm still going to show you this backup anyway, because it's pretty important that you know the backup. So let's see here. Alright, so I got my 60, so I am now 10 points short. Shirley has eyes wide open. Alright, so you messed up for whatever reason, and now you're a few points short. So what are you going to do? Are you going to reset? No, you're going to fly the plane. Because, look at your scoring, right? You have a ring bonus. And it tells you, you get 10 points per ring. So all I need to do is hit that one ring, and nothing after that. Alright, we got our ring. See ya. This is the favorite part, where you get to crash the plane. Poor plane. So even though I crashed the plane, I still get my ring bonus, right? And there we go, we passed. So that's like, kind of like going back to what I mentioned earlier, right? It is super important that you know your backups and you know what point values you can get, what point values are possible, and you know what is like an easy way to get points if you're in a jam, which 99% of the time is the plane. There's no shame in like flying the plane, you know, just to get those like extra 10, 20 points, right? So that's the skydiving option bonus. The bonus that I think is a lot easier for level 2 is the rocket bolt bonus. We're gonna fly this rocket bolt here. I already did it, like when showing you the bonus. But yeah, it's like, it's super easy to get this bonus, I think. Just like get your 3 rings, and then get ready to land on this big moving platform, right? Okay, so now I'm gonna go ahead and kind of like rotate between this, like, you know, low power and high power. Make sure we're going a little bit backwards here. Okay, make sure we're on the right angle. Yeah, this should be perfect, right? Okay, there we go. We got our landing. And now we're gonna play the little flying man thing game. Oh yeah, I wanna make a save state here. Actually, I'll do this. Okay. So I'm gonna show you like the optimal way to play hang glider. The hang glider, the rocket belt bonus. The thing is like you can use those little things over there, or you can just not. Because if you do this correctly, I didn't do it correctly, that's okay. Yeah, let's do it correctly. If you like use your momentum in the right way, you will have enough momentum to kind of hit the P's like that. Perfect, right? So that's great, right? Like that's like super fast. If you don't do it that way, and this is a much safer way of doing it, it's just like bouncing on the thing, holding down because you don't want to move too far, and then bounce onto the P, right? So this is the easier way to do this, but you know, it's easier, it's safer. Certainly nothing wrong with. Wait, I got 5 there? Wait, I got 5 there? Oh, we're in the alternate one. Oh, we're in the alternate one. Interesting. I didn't expect that. Okay, so you tell which hang glider bonus you are based on, you see those little yellow bouncy things in the distance. That's how you know which one you're on, and each one subsequently has its own kind of like hidden like point values, right? So in this specific one, what we're going to do is we're going to, am I going to make it? Probably not. Okay, let's try that again. So in this one, it is, I believe, right. Let's see. Dang it. It's fine. I think it's right. Yes, it is right. I know right is correct there. Then you can go ahead and do whatever you wish with these. Honestly, like if you have enough points and you want to be risky, you don't even have to like land in this water. You can just like crash intentionally, get your 30 points, and then you have 90 points to get in skydiving. But the thing is like skydiving could potentially trip you up. So I'm gonna kind of get into that right now. So yeah, getting the rocket belt bonus is pretty simple, especially in level 2. But skydiving can kind of trip you up here, right? So first, there's the ring bonus. So you want to get these points, and in order to do that, you have to hit these rings. But unlike the first level, where you just like literally just go straight down, you have to like account for the direction, the angle of the rings. So you notice how like basically have to maneuver my little skydiver there. And then you want to kind of get all the way down, and then you want to use your flare to adjust your movement. So I'm kind of like actually doing skydiving the way it was meant to be done. And here we are. So great, right? I was able to get my 100 points even though I only needed 85. Surely her eyes are wide open. That's pretty cool. But the thing about level 2, right, is it's very easy to miss those rings, and even if you get that 70 accuracy and 10 speed, you still only get 80 points. You're probably going to hit at least 2 to 3 rings, but like if you don't hit all the rings, you're going to get like 8 points, 10 points, 12 points, something like that. So if you need a very high score from your rocket belt bonus because something went wrong and you didn't get a lot of points, that might trip you up. So just something to keep in mind. Definitely practice skydiving a little bit. The normal way, especially because you're going to need to do it later on anyway. Unless you intend to do skydive bonus every single time, which I mean, if you're that good, by all means, but as you can see, I'm not, so I'm not going to be doing that, but I encourage everybody who is good enough to do that. But I personally, for level 2, think even though Rocket Belt is slower because the bonus takes forever to do compared to the Penguin, I think it's worth it to do the Rocket Belt, especially for this sort of format, simply because it's a lot easier to learn. Because, like, you know, I mean, you see me messing around with this, right? Like, getting the timing of this is super difficult. So, as you can see, I have a lot to learn. But, okay. So, that's level 2. Do we need to take a break or anything, Ray, before we move on? Or what do you
we can take a break here.
Alright, let's take a break. I could use some water.
Alright, so we're going to take a short break. We're going to go to break screen. You'll see some ads for our different shows that are rotating through. If you see any of them that interest you, maybe tune in. You can see a full schedule over at gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. But we'll be back in just a few more minutes with more Pilotwings tutorials. Stay tuned. Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Community Spotlight. We are doing a Pilotwings tutorial today in partnership with Speed Seasons, because Pilotwings is game number 7, the final game for Speed Seasons. We have Darkman here helping us with learning Pilotwings for people if you're just getting into it for Speed Seasons, or if you just want to, learn the game. So we're a bit into it, and I think we can just jump right back in whenever you're ready, Darkman.
Sure, yeah. So when we last left off, we were at level 2, and now we're going to press to level 3. By the way, I just saw the world record holder for Pilotwings is here in chat, Hayfield Bay, so hello, and sorry in advance for watching this. It's not going to be very good. That's okay. So yeah. So now we're in level 3, and this is the first time we see the hang glider, and of course you have the rocket belt and light plane. So you have 2 options. You can opt to go for the rocket belt bonus, or you can opt to go for the hang glider bonus. For me personally, as we kind of mentioned earlier, I like using the hang glider, so I'm going to do the hang glider. So let's do notes real quick. So yeah, so the objective of this one is simply take the air current up, go to 500 feet. Just as long as you don't do anything stupid like hold up forever, which takes you down, then you should easily hit this 500 feet, right? So we get our 500 feet here. Just make sure you're angling your thing appropriately. There is wind now, and you can see on our screen which direction the wind's going. Okay, so now we're gonna attempt to land this thing. So there's a few different options you can do in terms of landing. I'm going to show you the harder strat, but also the faster strat. I was trying to do this on stream yesterday. I did get it once after 6 tries, but yeah, we're going to have to land this little thing over here. That's our bonus. It's this is way too high. Yeah, this is way too high. Alright, so that didn't work out. Alright, let's try again. Yeah, so the thing about hang glider when you're trying to go for the bonus is, again, I kind of mentioned earlier, but maintaining your speed, or getting the right speed, getting the right altitude is all super difficult. So it really comes down to feel. Don't be afraid to flare a lot. Also, don't be afraid to undershoot it, because generally if you that's gonna land in the water, because generally you're gonna kind of freak out and think, oh, if I undershoot it, I can't undershoot it, right? Oh, okay, this is perfect. I'm not gonna undershoot it. I'm gonna be great. Generally, if you don't intentionally try to undershoot it, you're probably gonna overshoot it if you don't successfully land, right? So I would say just intentionally try to be super low, because chances are if you think, oh, this is not too high, you're probably too high. So this is not good either. See, this is what I mean, right? It's I think I'm okay, but in reality I'm not, because pay attention to the yellow marker, which is our wind gauge, right? So the thing that makes this strat really difficult is the wind is pushing you forward, which means you lose a lot of control when you're getting ready to land, making this strat extremely difficult. So you have to really play around with the flare a lot. Wow.
Wow, I thought you had that.
Right? Yeah, I thought I had it too, actually. Even there, I flared a little bit too much, so I ended up just kind of having too much forward momentum. So it's super hard. I love this strat, going for this one. I'm definitely going to do it until I get it once, but as you can tell, it is extremely precise to get. Let's see if I can get it this time. Nope. Yeah, it's just... Oh, hold on. Let's see here. I'm gonna start a little bit out more, so that way it'll kind of give me a little bit more space here. Take things a little bit slower here, just so I can kind of line myself up better. Alright. Okay, that's perfect. So, we did it. Hey, we even landed in the dead center.
Nice.
So yeah, this is the, and of course, we're gonna mash now. Do you want to mash? Hope you enjoy my button pressing. I want everybody at home to do your best mash impression, or just actually mash, whatever.
I've already failed.
You've already failed?
Mashing's hard.
You're right. The thing about, the bonus in this particular stage is, if you're doing the hang gliding bonus, then really you don't need a whole lot of points, because getting the rocket belt, a lot of points with the rocket belt, is not that difficult. I'm gonna make a fork in my saves here. I'm gonna show you later why it's not a big deal, but for now I want to show you the alternate strat. So if you don't want to do that, where you come from the north and it makes things significantly harder, you have another option. You come in from the other direction. I don't remember what direction that is. East? Sure, let's go east. Yeah, so you come in from this direction right here. the nice thing about this one is the wind is no longer pushing you forward. It's pushing you to the left, which is great because you don't have that forward momentum anymore. It's a lot easier to kind of like land, basically. Like, look at that, right? First try. Because if I did that with like the wind pushing me forward, that would have 100% went in the water. But because the wind is going to the side, it's kind of like gently preventing me from going faster. So it gives you a lot more control landing on like small targets. So it is definitely maybe slightly slower to go that way, but if you do it correctly, it's honestly like not that much slower, and it's a lot more consistent. So I would say like it's probably easier to do it that way if you're gonna do the hang glider bonus, but if you want to do it the super cool way, by all means. Alright, so now I'm gonna get this bonus here. We're gonna mash again because I hear everybody likes the sweet sound of controller noises. So yeah, like I'm gonna like intentionally not get that many points with it. I'm gonna get like 30 points. Can I even like intentionally get 30 points? It's impossible. Or whatever, 35 points is good. So, got my bonus here. So yeah, I need 85 points now. And the thing about Rocket Belt is like it's like really easy to get a high score in level 3. So I would say like you don't need to like mash too hard with the hang glider, right? Just get like 30 points, maybe 20 points if you're feeling really confident. And yeah, like it saves your fingers, it saves time, which is always nice. There's a lot of like invisible time loss in this game, I think. Like if you're not really paying attention, you wouldn't realize you're losing time. So very important that you try to go as fast as possible with those like little mini optimizations if you can. So all right, so we did our 4 objectives. Almost did our 4 objectives. Don't mind me. All right. There we go. We did our 4 objectives. All right. So I should probably tell you like how those objectives work. But in any case, you can land in either of these 2 over here. You can kind of see, switching to this little top-down view, that like there's more of the center to hit, but it's a smaller target. But I mean, that's fine because, you know, it's not that hard to hit the center, right? So at the center, and I get my speed and time bonus, and now Lance does the googly eye thing. so yeah, like that's what I mean by like you don't really need to get too many points in the hang glider bonus because chances are you're gonna get a pretty good score in the rocket belt anyway. So I would, you know, not stress the hang glider bonus too much in level 3 only. In level like in the further levels, you probably need to do more. But yeah, so we passed. Perfect. So yeah, so that's hang glider. The option. The other option is you can opt to do the rocket belt bonus, which is probably Alpha's preference. I'm gonna guess.
Yeah, rock belt's nice.
Yes. I think for some people it's just easier to control. Sayfield points out 100 on rocket belt, 120 hang gliders optimal. But yeah, it's. You want to be super confident in your abilities if you want to do that. Personally, nothing wrong with, you know, getting a few extra points just to be safe. Because if you make a little bit of mistake and you're getting like a 90 or 95 in Rocket Belt, then yeah, you have to fly the plane. Which isn't the worst thing in the world, but you know, nobody wants to fly the plane.
I see it, it's much easier to get like hundreds or just grab the bonus in Rocket Belt, and then, you know, depending on what you do for Rocket Belt, you figure out whether or not you're going for the bonus in Hang Glider. And Hang Glider's also fun.
True. It's true. You can definitely like kind of like gauge what you're gonna do based on like how you do a certain thing. Like, you know, maybe you're feeling like, oh, like hang glider is like, you know, hang glider. I'm really feeling hang glider today. We're gonna do hang glider. Maybe you're just feeling like, oh, I'm not really sure which one I'm feeling. Like maybe we should just kind of like, you know, just kind of like play it as it goes. All right. Hopefully I can get this.
Yeah.
Got it. So yeah. So we got our rocket belt bonus. See, that's the thing for me. This is why I don't do rocket belt bonus. I'm way too slow at it. And then now we have to do this, right? So, which one is it, by the way? Oh, I missed it. Oh, it's the left one. Okay, left, right. Oh my god. All right, well, things are not going too well for me right now. Ah! All right, things are not really not going well for me right now. All right, things are really not going well for me right now. Sometimes you just, have your moments, right?
Remember, this is a bonus stage.
I'm getting BM'd right now. Frankly, I don't appreciate that.
I've never seen that wink before.
All right, let me see if I can actually do this properly. Okay. Yeah, so you can kind of see like I'm using momentum and like wind as well to kind of like push me in the proper direction to hit the rings over here. It looks kind of tight in terms of like how close you have to be since it's a straight line, but it's really not as bad as you're thinking. Just like kind of like play around with the momentum here. Make sure you're going in the proper direction, and honestly, you should be fine. Even when like the wind picks up, it's not as hard as you think. You have a lot of control over rocket belt, like I kind of alluded to earlier, so you'll get used to it. All right, let's see here. That's not good. Wait for that to pass. Turn around. Why did I turn around? I don't know. Okay, we're gonna wait for that to come back. Again, I'm not good at the rocket belt, as you can see. Nope. Not aligned. Sure. All right, let's meet it here. All right, we don't worry about it.
I cannot believe this game counted that.
Easy every time.
Easy every time. This is this one. Oh, my bad. It's this one. Okay, and then it's this one. Cool. Alright.
And you just check to see how many bounce pads there are to see which one it is, right?
No, you didn't check which bounce pads. You actually, yeah, you check which bounce pads at the end, sorry.
Yeah.
The little bounce pads like in the water. That's like how you know. At least that's how I tell. So yeah, so I hit my 40 points or whatever. I didn't even need to hit the 40 points. I could have probably stopped at the 25 points and just like intentionally grounded there, but with the hang glider, the thing is like you probably want the extra points because now we have to actually land the hang glider in the little gray target over there. I mean, if you're comfortable with the hang glider to the point where you're attempting bonuses, probably landing it on the objective isn't too hard, but I say that and like, the nice thing about the hang glider objective is, again, I mentioned it earlier in that if you literally do the objective, get the speed bonus and the time bonus, land correctly, but just land literally anywhere in this like land, you will get 60 points. And the nice thing is if you land in the objective, you don't need to land in the center ring to get high points. You just need to kind of land on the objective. Let's just see if I can do it here real quick. Yeah, it's all about kind of like timing your glider here. Oh, thanks for the tip. I did not. There we go. So now I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Look at that. So like I'm barely in the ring, right? That's gonna give me like at least 90 points. Yeah, that's 90 points. I think to get 100, you probably have to hit the center thing, but it's like if you're accurate enough with the hang glider, it's very easy to get high points. But if you're not accurate with the hang glider, then it's kind of difficult, and you kind of have to just settle for 60 points. But yeah, we passed. One thing I do want to mention before we move on is just the plane. Be a reminder of your plane backups. So just notice the score here. Pay attention to the ring bonus. You get 3 points per ring. So if you absolutely need points, you're in a jam, just get the rings. Get all of them if you need to get that 50 points. So that's Lance. Now let's move on to Mr. Al. Password here. All right, so now we're in Al. So yeah, of course, as we mentioned earlier, this is the one with the with all 4 of them. So really, you have a lot of options here, right? Like, it's super open-ended. There's the fastest strat, which is do 2 bonuses, you get 150 points on average for the 2 of them, and you pass. There's the reasonable strat, in which you pick a bonus that you're most comfortable getting, you get that, and you do 3 of them. And then there's, of course, the fly the plane strat. So there's a lot of options here. It really comes down to what you're comfortable with. Personally, for me, I think hang glider is just doing 1 bonus and getting the hang glider is probably the easiest, but this could honestly be a one where, like, I could see people in 2 weeks being able to do hang glider and rocket belt. If you're doing like skydiving and something else, you're really good at this game because, well, I'm just gonna show you your target for skydiving. It's not very easy, suffice to say. So yeah, so we have a northeast wind. We're going to be pushed a little bit to the left. Don't worry about these rings. They don't count, or rather, they don't matter. Full disclosure, I will not land this correctly. Absolutely not. No way. Yeah, so that's a platform. That was the closest I've ever been to that one, so...
I was ready to call you a liar. Like, that was so close.
That was really close. Yeah, so as you can tell, that platform is really tiny. So, I mean, if you could hit that, you're really good at this game, and you should try to go for world record or something. I don't know. But yeah, so personally, I would not recommend people go for that one. But I think I told Alpha and Ray that if I see somebody get the level 4, the level 8 skydive bonus, I will pop off on stream. Because that is really impressive. Especially when you have 2 weeks to learn this game. So, alright. So, let's go for hang glider. This is my preference. The reason why is the hang glider bonus for level 4 is actually easier than level 3. I think it's easier. Alpha agrees with me.
Yeah, hang glider is free.
I wouldn't say it's free, but it's definitely a lot easier than 3.
I've never landed in the intended way of completing this level.
I used to do it back in the day. But yeah, see that yellow target over there with the little 4 yellow things in the center target? That is our bonus. So you can tell it's really convenient, right? Because you get the long, narrow strip that you get to use rather than the little circular target that we had earlier. So very convenient in that respect. So yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and hit the second ring. We need to hit our 2 rings for a bonus here. And then we're gonna go ahead and land. So for this strat, I usually, like, for me, what works is, like, I generally don't do like super fast strats where I like go down fast. Instead, what I do is I kind of go out a little bit and then turn around at altitude of about 250 feet, a little bit more. That seems to line me up generally pretty well. And then, of course, we're getting pushed backwards with this wind right now, so that's great. We're gonna line ourselves up real good. Should be okay. We'll see what happens. I might be a little bit short. No, I think we're okay, actually. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah, so you can land literally anywhere in the yellow there, and you're good. So there's a lot of leeway, suffice to say. And yeah, as Hayfield mentions, yeah, skydiving lesson 4 and 8 are just the hardest things in this game. Like, they are so hard. I mean, if somebody wants to try it, by all means, but you know, I wouldn't recommend it. Anyway, this one, you don't really have you have some leeway. It really depends on how good you are at skydiving in this one, I think, because like rocket belt, you're probably gonna get a good score, right? So it doesn't really matter too much. But for skydiving, you have the potential to get not a great score. So for me personally, what I do is like I do the hang glider, I get the bonus, and then I move on to skydiving just to see like how well I'll do. I am not good enough to get 2 bonuses, but again, I think it's fully possible that somebody can get both the rocket belt and the skydiving in 2 weeks. I'm just not confident enough in my rocket belt skills to really attempt it. So I think it's just faster for me and more consistent that I do skydiving just like normally, and do rocket, and I just lost control. Great. So yeah, you can see what happens when you lose control. All right. So now I'm gonna go ahead and launch my chute here. So we have to make sure we land in the center here and not in the yellow. Yellow's bad for skydiving. And yeah, you can see what happens when it's bad. Hopefully that lands in the gray. Yeah, it does. How is that a 60 accuracy? You know, I'm not even gonna question it.
What?
Not even gonna question it. One time I think I landed closer than that and got a 50 accuracy, so who knows. Alright, so I need 80 points. I'm gonna go ahead and do my rocket belt. I mean, it should be pretty easy to get 80 points of rocket belt, right? I've kind of like gone over this. Honestly, I think legitimately, like, for most people, like, running this game, you should be able to get 100, like, in any level. Sometimes you might not, and that's okay, but, like, you should be pretty capable of getting 100 non-bonus rocket belt in, like, all the levels. So we're gonna get our rings. Alright, now we're gonna go ahead and land. And miss the ring, because, you know, just making sure you all know this isn't a robot playing, you know.
So someone in chat is asking if the position and, like, I guess the cycles of the bonus platforms are consistent every time. And I believe that's a yes?
In terms of, like, just how they move?
Yeah. Like, do they, like, if you do the same inputs, you're gonna land on it every time kind of thing?
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean... Yes.
If you could guarantee that you can do the same inputs.
Yeah,
like.
but like again, it kind of like, oh yeah, I was calling. It kind of like goes back to what I mentioned earlier in the broadcast, and that like, yes, if you could do literally everything perfectly, then yes, it's going to be the same thing every time. The problem is like if you do things just a tiny bit differently, like you have a right input at like. At like 30 seconds in instead of 29 seconds in, that changes the entirety of like how you approach the objective, right? So it's like, yeah, it's the same thing. It's the same movement, the moving platform, but it's very difficult to kind of like do the same thing every time. You kind of want to do that with skydiving. That's like kind of the goal with skydiving bonus is you want to do the same thing every time. The problem is actually doing the same thing every time, as you notice me, you know, landing in the water a lot. So yeah. So that's skydiving option. The other option is, that's hang glider option. You can go for rocket belt option 2. Maybe I can get it, maybe I not. Let's see. But yeah, getting hang glider and rocket belt bonus here and getting like those two to get to 300 points is pretty difficult. It does involve like spending a little bit more time on the bonus stage than you'd want to, but it might be worth it, you know, because then you don't have to do a third stage. All right, let's see here. So we got our rings, and now we're gonna do the moving platform here, which is our bonus. Let's see if we can do this. I am not set up well at all. Oh yeah, something I used to do back when I was first learning this game is like, oh yeah, I'll just do like, you know, L and R here to land on the platform. It's perfect, right? No, you don't want to do that, because then you like can't see the platform at all as it's coming, and it makes it like super difficult to like kind of like gauge when you need to kind of like land on the platform. So I would not recommend doing that. I mean, you can if you want to, but, you know, I don't think it's a good idea. Okay, I'm really bad right now. Hold on. Sigh. Let's try again. Probably just again, I am not good at the rocket belt, but I'll try to do this so I can show the people. I'm gonna secretly share my my monitor with Alpha so he can just take over and do the rocket belt bonus for me.
Yeah, this rocket belt's hard.
Yeah, I'm sure the latency on that would be fine.
He's got it, I believe.
It's only across the Atlantic,
Also,
right?
I don't have a controller where I am, so that'd be interesting.
Keyboard, Pilotwings.
That
It seems
sounds
hard.
awful. It sounds awful. Who would do such a thing?
As someone who speedruns games with keyboard, I don't want to pick up a game I've only played with controller with keyboard.
Alright, this should be good. Cool. Alright, so we got our landing. Let's see, which one do we got here? I'm just gonna play it safe here. Okay. So yeah, so this one, as Hayfield wonderfully pointed out in chat, this is the one where you do left, right, right. So you do left. Oh, it's not the one you do left, left, right.
Oh, this is 3 trampolines. Right, right, right.
Oh, it's 3 trampolines. I didn't see the third one. Forgive me. Alright, so if you want the extra points, because you're going for 2, then use the extra trampoline to your advantage. Otherwise, if you don't care and you just want, like, some points, just, like, only use 1.
I'm gonna take that handy-dandy Twitch message, take it over to the Pilotwings
I already did
channel.
that.
I was gonna put it in the Pilotwings channel and pin it.
Oh, yeah. Good point. So, yeah, so I got my 30, and I got my 20, I think. Yeah, so I got my 150. So that puts me, like, on pace to get to. You know what? Let's do it. Let's go for it, alright? In order to do this, I have to, like, mash for 50.
Oh
if
boy.
I get the bonus. Let's go for it,
Oh
alright? Why
boy.
not? We'll move on after this anyway, regardless if I pass or fail. Actually, it's beneficial if I don't get 150, because I'm going to show you the plane back up. Alright, so we get our 2 rings. It's like super easy to get these rings. You don't really have to overthink it. You just kind of like manage your altitude here. You don't want to like keep holding up, or excuse me, keep holding down. You also don't want to keep holding up, because then you'll be like too high or too low. So just kind of want to like manage your altitude. You want to be around like 350-ish heading into it, 320-ish. Or sorry, it's like yeah, it's like 350-ish. All right, so we got it. Now we're gonna get ready to turn here. Let's go ahead and turn. Okay, this should be fine. Yeah, this should be fine. Nice scenic view. Hope you enjoy your hang glider. All right. Ooh, that was bad. Okay. The funny thing about hang glider is like you can be at an angle and you can still kind of land it right. All right. Let's see if I can mash to 50. This was a really bad attempt. Alright, well I'm 5 points short, so you know. Now I get to show you the plane backup. In this situation, I'd honestly just do skydiving, get a couple of rings, and fall. You know, do the crash strat, but I want to show you the light plane backup anyway. So, you'll notice your scoring, you get 40 points for an arch. Guess what? There's 1 arch. So, we're just going to hit that arch, and we're good. There's the arch. So you may be asking, wait a minute, I'm going past it. It's going to take me a while to get to it. Not necessarily. We're just going to do this. We're just going to chill on the ground, you know? Just do a little 360 here. And, there's the arch. And I missed it. No, wait, did I get it? I didn't get it. That's fine. Just reduce my speed a little bit. So if you reduce your speed, it kind of like makes it a lot easier for you to get it. Because you'll be like turning faster. Wait. There we go. What? How did I not get it there? I disagree, game. This was supposed to be easy.
And this is why we don't want to use the plane.
That's true. I haven't done this backup in like forever, so there's probably a way to. There's probably something I'm forgetting, to be honest. So. Ah! Alright, well, hold on. Let me just do it the really easy way. There's definitely an easy way to do this, and I just probably forgot. Just like play it super easy.
Probably just turned too early. Like if you'd flown out a little bit more.
Yeah, maybe. It's really... I don't know, like the turning in the plane is like really strange at times. Okay, so anyway, get our arch. Wait, I didn't get the arch! And then I fell in the water. That's fine. You get the idea. Get the arch and pass.
I think the wind was messing up your perfect circle, so you weren't quite where you thought you were gonna be.
Possibly. Alright, well, we're just gonna move on from now. You get the idea. Oops. And now... Well, actually, instead of... Let's do this. Perfect. Alright, so... We're in the helicopter mission now, and you see with the helicopter, we fly, but also we shoot things. Very fun. Use your LNR to shoot. Very fun. So the objective of the helicopter, I kind of mentioned this yesterday, but the objective of the helicopter is basically you have to avoid some turrets, and you can shoot them down too, and then you have to get to a helipad and rescue your trainers. So the thing about the turrets here is they fire bullets at you, obviously. They don't like you very much. And if you get hit by the bullets just once, you're going to crash. So yeah, you're very much a one and done. So what you have to keep in mind with the helicopter, with the turrets rather, is they fire the bullets at you based on the position that you were. So you can essentially like, okay, so like if I'm right here, right? And they fire, they're going to fire like exactly where I am right now, which you can use to your advantage. This turret isn't firing, don't worry about it. It happens. So you can use it to your advantage, right? Because there's hidden turrets, by the way. Because like you essentially, oh well, I got hit. So essentially what you want to do is, let's just speed up. Essentially what you want to do is you want to bait the turrets in order to shoot at them. So like I'm going to use like this turret over here as an example. Not that turret. Just use the turrets here. So like it's firing at me, right? Obviously I want to avoid that. And like, yeah, I'm avoiding it, it's great, but I'm not getting a chance to really fire at it. Instead, what you want to do is aim yourself at an off angle, right? So you aim yourself at an off angle, and then you turn into it and shoot. That's like the easiest way to kind of like avoid the bullets and also like shoot the things. So there's no reason for me to do that, I just wanted to kind of like show you how the turrets work. So I'm just going to show you the normal way of doing the specific section. Gonna shoot some turrets down. It's gonna be great. Yeah, so in this section over here, we have 4 hidden turrets that you really need to be careful of. So there's like one in that direction, one in that direction. Yeah, you can kind of see like where the turrets are. Oop, that's not good. That's not good either. That's not good either. Okay. Alright. There we go. That should be good. Okay, perfect. So yeah, you see like how I'm like basically like jiggling the turrets out of existence. So yeah, we're gonna bait them like this, and then we're gonna get hit. Because it just like happens from time to time. Like you're gonna get hit, and it's really like. Sometimes it happens, especially when like there's multiple turrets going down. I've never actually dodged them and like fast forward. This is pretty fun actually. Alright, anyway. Let's do this. Okay, so now we have a quick save here. Alright, so fire these turrets over here, and they're gonna fire one at me. So now, oh, careful here. Okay, now we're gonna go back here. So you can see, of course, you know, the way to identify the hidden turrets is like when you're over them, your cursor will kind of give you that like homing icon or whatever. So you may have noticed something interesting about the turrets, and I'm going to show you more about that later. But I want to see if people picked up on a certain interesting mechanic about the turrets. But anyway, so I've killed enough of them. I'm going to go ahead and start descending. So you see the helipad over there. I'm going to go ahead and land this plane. Did I say plane? Helicopter. You know, it's a vehicle. Actually, I have no idea what happens if your rate of descent is too great. I've never actually done that before. Let's find out. Okay. Alright, so you do your great landing. Everybody's happy, you know. We rescue them from, like, the Syndicate or whatever the heck the lore is.
Yeah, the evil syndicate.
The evil Syndicate, that's right, the evil Syndicate.
The lore for the second one's even better.
I don't even remember what the second one is.
They kidnapped Big Al's brother.
Oh, really? So, at this point, you would reset right here, and that takes you into expert mode. And yeah. So, you may have noticed something interesting about the turrets. And that is, if you don't see them, they don't see you. So, if the turret exists, but you don't see it, it's never going to fire at you. Which is really handy, right? Like, you notice that there was, like, when I was at the helipad, there was turrets on the north side, but I opted not to shoot them because I didn't need to. So, I'm going to show you why that's advantageous to you by not showing you the fastest strat because I'm really bad at it. But, I just want to show you an example, right? Like, so you see there, it's firing at me. Now, it doesn't see me, so therefore it doesn't fire at me. This applies to altitude as well, right? So, like, if I'm lower in the air, and I'm traveling at lower speeds, right? Like, it takes more time to see that turret. Oh, hey, you can actually dodge these.
Yeah.
So, what may be the fastest way to do this, you ask? Well, in particular for Helicopter 1, the fastest way to do this is to just stay really low in the air. And by low, I mean really low. I'm talking like 10 feet here. It is really difficult to juggle your altitude during the strat. You have to like really like kind of like alternate between like 70s and 80s speed. But the nice thing about this is if you kind of use the radar to your advantage and you turn at the proper times. I've never actually like fully done this route before, so I don't actually know what the proper times. How did I avoid that?
So far, so good.
Sure. So yeah, so you want to maintain a super low altitude. And yeah, like you're just not seeing any turrets, right? So it's great. And you follow the radar to your destination. I'm definitely going to crash, don't worry about it, but at least I'm going to have some laps along the way, right? Ah! There you go. So, if I actually moved just a little bit more to the right, like, I would have been at the helipad.
I love how it becomes a machine gun because the bullets despawn so fast. It's like...
Yeah, I'm not very good at the strat, but you at least get the general idea. You use the radar to your advantage, or you just kind of memorize where you have to go and avoid the hidden turrets, avoid the actual turrets, and you'll be able to get in the helipad really easily. So...
It was a good scream, though.
It was a good scream, I guess.
It is pretty spooky. It's definitely easier on the first one. The second one, there's a lot of guns.
I will do it in the second one just for the memes, but yeah, it's like beyond impossible.
If people want to see someone getting over the helipad at like 50 and then eating 6,000 bullets, look at my VOD of me playing this game a couple days ago.
Alright, so now we are up to lesson 5. So we repeat the 4 lessons again with Tony, Shirley, Lance, and Al. But they have the same disciplines, but each one requires more points and there's more wind, so they become harder. The objectives are also smaller. The orbs, like in the plane, for instance, are harder to get. They become small rings instead, like stuff like that. So you're still going to get bonuses, but it's a lot harder. So yeah, so really with level 5, you only have one option: get the bonus. If you don't want to, you can certainly like learn the plane, but doing the plane in 5 is really hard. It's an icy ramp, which I don't think the ice actually matters too much, but there's a lot of wind. The rings are really hard to get. I just learn the bonus. It's like a lot easier. I'm not going to show you backup plane strats for 5 because honestly, I'm not very good at them.
Like to point out about the plane, because everything is white, you can't see anything.
Yes, very true. It's just like, it's so difficult to fly the plane in 5. I would not recommend it at all. So we're gonna get this little bonus here instead.
With this one, if you miss it, you can just soft reset and try again real fast, right?
That's with like anything pretty much. Or yeah, that's like anything,
Nice.
right? Like if you go for a bonus like first try and you don't get it, yeah, just soft reset and you can just start out again, rather than like play out the rest or wait for Shirley to say like, oh, you gotta do that. Okay, so with this one, right, I need 40 points. So my options are to either go in the middle or go into the top right. So I'm gonna go for the middle because I think the middle is a little bit easier to get, as I demonstrated earlier. So get this 50 pointer here, and there we go. Belly flop or back flop. So yeah, so I got my 50, and we can move on. Level 5 is honestly pretty straightforward. Just it's like level 1, except there's a little bit more wind play, right? So I'll show it again, but yeah, just oh yeah, you get the night sky. That's cool.
So one thing I noticed in this is that like the time of day seems to slowly get later and later. So it's like, is this just one really fast flying course in a single day?
Maybe. I mean, hey, we became an expert, so
Taking
we can do anything.
the phrase crash course to a new level.
Unfortunate.
Oh.
I misaimed.
I'd like to think that there's like months of fixing all of your broken bones between this one and the next one, because it stops being winter immediately.
Alright, let's try this again. Yeah, it's honestly like, even though there's a significant wind, I don't feel like it like affects you a lot in this skydiving one. Just like aim it yourself a little bit more right as you're coming down. And again, we're kind of aiming for that corner, right? Just a little bit right of that corner, and then use the altitude meter to kind of like know where you have to be. And then yeah. I think 1 and 5 are like super easy to get, and you'll get them pretty fast. Just like kind of like keep at it, get comfortable and that sort of thing. All right, so we're going for the middle. A choice, but to go for the middle. Cool. All right, we got our 150. So we can go ahead and move on to Shirley over here. Yes, it is very fun. Reset. Go ahead and on to Shirley. Okay. So with Shirley, with level 6, it can be a little bit tricky because of the points. Of course, you can opt to do skydiving or rocket belt here. I think skydiving is super hard, so I don't do it. The bonus at least, but it is an option. I will go ahead and at least attempt it, because why not? So you can see where the is, and it has a pretty wide range. Never actually practiced 6 skydiving before, so I'm probably gonna like miserably fail this, but we can at least YOLO it. Yeah, not bad. So yeah, it's you can even see like my skydiver is getting pushed to the right because of the wind. So it's pretty difficult to do the skydiving in the later levels, 6 and 8 in particular. So I don't personally recommend you do skydiving here, but you know, if you want to go for it, by all means. So instead, I'm going to recommend we go for the rocket belt. Rocket belt is pretty easy in 6. It's just a little bit tricky at the start because you have this little ring you have to go up, so you have to land yourself appropriately. It's like really easy to miss that ring initially, and then you just go like, well, gotta turn back. So we're gonna hit our rings here. We're dunking on the rings, as they say. Alright. Or not. Okay, we're going up. We're going up from below. Nice. Alright. Here we go. So, of course, we have to use the moving platform again, just like skydiving. And yeah, let's use some of that wind to our advantage. So we're gonna be pushed to the right here. So there we go. I'm actually kind of surprised I didn't.
That was close.
Yeah. All right, and now it's let's see what we got here. Oh, cool. See if I can do this right. Well, that's bad. Alright. We're fine. Everything's fine. The strat is really hard, by the way, to like not use the bouncers. So personally, I'd say just use the bouncy thingies, because then you're just gonna end up doing what I did there. So we'll just you know, try again. It's like tricky, right, to like time your movement when you're doing the bonus without the bouncy thingies. So, trampolines, I guess. It's probably like the more appropriate term. I like to call them bouncy thingies, though, because you know.
I was about to ask if that was the technical term.
Probably, but they're bouncy thingies. Oh, also something to be aware of: if you're going for a rocket bonus, you'll lose points right here, right, for landing early or something like that. Oh, right. I forgot I did the objective. Hold on. I forgot about that. Let me illustrate my point better.
Oh my god.
Okay, so like if you do the objective early, or if like you try to land early, like you lose points, right? If you're going for the bonus, it doesn't really matter. So like if you make a mistake and lose points, it's fine. It doesn't matter. It's not going to take away from your bonus. So just something to keep in mind. It's actually pretty relevant for level 8, and I'll show you why later. Also kind of relevant for 7. I think Alpha, you probably like hit the ground a few times, right?
Yeah, that was literally the first time I even realized you could land in Rocket Belt with 7. Like, I got so confused and like, wait, I lost 2 points, and then someone told me you can touch the ground.
Alright, should be good here. Cool. Alright, let's try, like, playing this safe. Like, taking the trampoline sucks, because, like, you lose a ton of time, but, I mean, better to just get the points, right? So, we're gonna get our points. Bounce onto P. So we're gonna go right now, and then we're gonna go center. Take the little bouncy thing. I don't actually know how you get 30 here. Wait, is this good enough to get 30? No, it's not. I don't know like how you get 30 here. Just be good, I guess. But you want as many points as possible with this bonus, because we hit our 145 and now we need 95 with skydiving, which is pretty hard. One thing to keep in mind with like the skydiving here is you have really small targets if you're doing it normally. Like you can see those targets over there, right? Like they're super small. So all right, use the wind to your advantage. Right? Like go with the wind. Don't mess up like me. I messed up again. But yeah, use the wind to your advantage, so that way you're not being like pushed in a bad direction. So, all right. Oh boy, this is bad. Okay, we saved it. All right, so yeah, so I missed a few orbs, so yeah, we're short a few points. This is honestly, I think in level 6, this is going to happen quite a few times. So I would get used to learning what the backup is to the plane, which is quite a simple backup, to be honest. So as you see in our scoring here, all we have to do is get 10 points per ring. So in our case, we just need 1 ring. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to crash the plane again. Ooh, also I want to try something and see if it works. It's a really funny thing too if it happens. What happened? Yes, it happened. So like, you can crash and the plane is going forward, and like you can actually go forward through a ring while you're crashed and you get extra points.
Amazing.
It's really funny. So yeah. I only discovered that like I think yesterday or the day before or whatever. So it's pretty
It was
funny.
optimal to
The
crash
speed
early.
strats.
Yeah. Alright, so now we're moving on to lands. Yeah, so Shirley is honestly pretty straightforward. Either do skydiving or do rocket belt and just do well on the other one. And if you don't do well, just get some points. Like, you really shouldn't be doing so poorly to the point where you need to actually land the plane. But if you need to land the plane, land the plane. Honestly, I don't think it's that big of a deal in 6. In 7 and 8, it's a much bigger deal. So, all right. So here's where things get a little bit interesting. So you can opt to do the rocket belt bonus, or you can do the hang glider bonus. I prefer the hang glider bonus, personally. Again, like, I'm just not very good at the rocket belt, as I've alluded to, and our wind is very nasty in this level. So, like, I'm going straight, right? Like, look at how far it's going to the right. Like, the wind is super strong now. And for hang gliding in particular, that, like, is, honestly, for all the disciplines, it's really bad, but, for hang gliding, it really sucks, right? Like, if you're getting pushed that far by the wind. But it is something to keep in mind. We can actually use this wind to your advantage. So anyway, so our objective is to get to 700 feet. That's actually really hard. Because you need to hit these 2 altitudes right here. And you need to make sure you hit them like at a very good altitude. I actually might have messed up. Let's see. Because if you're like not like very precise here, you're going to be under 700. If you're under 700 feet, you might as well reset, because trying to recover after missing the second one is like nearly impossible. So yeah, no, this is fine. We're at our 7. Yeah, like, look at this, right? Like, I barely hit 700 there. It's very, very, very tough. So now we're gonna land. Honestly, I think there's only one realistic way to do this, and that's to like kind of line yourself up. So we're gonna line ourselves up like this. The wind pushes forward, and then we're gonna turn around. And yeah, we're gonna use the wind to our advantage. So the wind is super pushing us left, but it's also pushing us backwards, which is awesome, because that means we're gonna be a lot softer on our landing, which means we have a lot more leeway for error. So I think hang gliding bonus is not too difficult in 7. I think it's easier than 3, personally. Like, it's really doable because you're going against that wind. You could do other strats where like you're a little bit faster maybe, but the thing is like, with that wind so severe, like actually going with the wind trying to do that trick is like super hard. Yeah. So we're gonna mash here. We're gonna mash very poorly here. Also, the nice thing about this, right, is like doing hang glider bonus means we have to rely on like rocket belt for the rest of our points, right? Which is good, because remember what I alluded to earlier about like, you know, about like rocket belt saying like if you're on any level you can realistically get 100. Well, you're gonna need to get 100 in order to not fly the plane. So, because you know, I'm not good at mashing, but in any case, yeah, it's like, this is why I like this strat, because I think the hang glider is super easy. Well, not super easy, but it's like, it's a lot easier to do in 7. and you don't have to worry about like the super annoying wind when you're doing the rocket belt bonus. Even though it is definitely faster to do rocket belt bonus over hang glider bonus, I think in this stage, I think it's better to just do hang glider bonus because I think it's a lot easier to learn. So yeah, so we have the super strong wind, and we have these super tiny orbs here that we have to get. So you just have to be like really careful and don't accidentally like go in the water. It's like super intimidating at first, like trying to get these, but it's honestly not that difficult. Just like it's all about momentum, really. Just like play it kind of safe. Adjust your momentum when needed. There we go, and then one more. Alright, now we can land. So we gotta get the 100 in order to get full points. I'm bad. I'm bad. I'm good. Okay. It would be really fun if there was a new Pilotwings. Yeah, Lance's googly eyes. So, this is why I really like the hang glider strat, because you get the max points on hang glider. You don't have to like have the pressure of getting a really high score on the hang glider. Even though I do think the rocket belt bonus is probably faster, but let's try it. Let's try the rocket belt bonus. See what happens. No.
6 meter per second wind makes the platform hard.
Yes, very, very hard. I'll try it, because, you know, why not? But I predict mini splash. No, it's not good. Yeah, it's very easy to like kind of like lose your momentum here and just miss the bars, but it's okay. Not a big deal. Okay. So now we have to do this. So again, we can use our wind icon here. Almost. Yeah, like look at this, right? Like I'm just like I have so much movement in the wrong direction, or like, you know, in a certain in the wind direction. It's like it's so hard to control. Almost. This might work. Oh, unfortunate.
Oh no.
I didn't commit. That was really what happened. I was lined up really well, but I didn't commit. So, yeah. But you get the idea, right? It's like you have to be really cognizant of the wind and make sure you're landing appropriately. So, all right. So I will just show off one more thing, and that's the plane. Again, it's one of those know your backup sort of situation. You get 3 points per ring, get all the rings, you get 50 points, so you never have to land the plane unless you did really bad otherwise. If it's honestly that bad, you should probably just reset, because well, landing the plane is really hard here. I'm just going to show you how difficult it is to get a good score at the plane here. Aside from the fact that you see, like, you know, those tiny rings there. The rings honestly aren't even the hard part, because you don't need to go through the rings, you just need to touch the ring. So you just be cognizant of the wind and you'll hit them all. So that's not the hard part. The hard part is landing. And again, this is why we don't do the plane, because this is going to take forever. How's your day going, Ray?
I'm doing alright.
Alright. Good to hear. Alpha, how's your day going?
Long, not because of this, but because I had to wake up at like 4 in the morning and drive 4 hours, so it's kind of like flying this plane.
Oh my goodness. But did you actually fly a plane, though?
I wish.
Oh, well.
That would have been better than what I was doing. Also, probably faster.
But you know where you can fly a plane?
A Pilotwings?
There you go.
Yeah.
All right, so just keep in mind when you're getting these rings that the wind changes, so you'll have to adjust your stress to that.
That's a lot of rings.
It is a lot of rings. There are a lot of rings. Gotta get them all.
This is why
Because
we
it's like-
try not to do this level, huh?
This is why we try not to do it. This and 8 in particular, it's not just the length of time, I'm going to show you how, like, right now, right? Like, it's really difficult to land the plane accurately. Okay, decrease our speed a little bit, give us a little bit more comfort here. Oh, well, I missed the ring. That's fine. So yeah, so I want to reduce my speed here. Keep in mind the wind here. Yeah. Okay. So honestly, I thought that was pretty good landing wise.
That's really good.
Because
Yeah, it's a
like
good landing.
you want to be center, and you want to be like perfectly in tune with speed and your angle and all that. Like look at that, right? Like I got 5 out of 20 in accuracy there. Like it's just getting a 75 there isn't even that bad, but that's how difficult it is to like fly the plane in 7 and 8. So this is why I would not recommend you flying the plane if you can, afford to avoid it. So, all right. So as we head on to, did you want to like take a break or anything, Ray? Or?
We can, yeah.
Okay, let's do that. We got Al and the helicopter, so we're almost done, but we still got plenty of time for content.
Yep. So we're going to take another break here. Just as a quick reminder here on Hotfix, we like to take wellness breaks on some of our longer showcases. So take this opportunity to get up, stretch, walk around a little bit, refill your water. Just generally take care of yourselves. And we'd appreciate it if you'd consider subscribing to Hotfix, as Hotfix is funded in part thanks to your subscriptions and bits. After this, we're done with our Speed Season tutorials. So if you've got games you think would be a good fit for this show, you can go to GameStoneQuick.com/hotfix. There's a form in the bottom left. You can fill it out and tell us about games you'd like to see on Hotfix sometime. But besides that, we're going to take a few minutes and we'll be back with the rest of the tutorial right after that. Hello everyone and welcome back to the Community Spotlight. Hope you've been enjoying our Pilotwings tutorial here with Darkman78. It's been quite a bit of fun on my end. I hope it has been for you all as well. Just as a quick reminder, if you tune in tomorrow at 7 p.m. Eastern, Time Capsule will be doing part 2 of their Final Fantasy X speedrun. It was too long for one show, so they split it across 2. They'll be doing the conclusion to that speedrun. It'll be quite a bit of fun. Make sure you tune in for that. And of course, if you wanted to submit for Frame Fatales, the all-women speedrunning event from August 15th to 21st, game submissions are closing tomorrow night. So make sure you head on over to GamesDoneQuick.com/FrameFatales for more info on that. But besides all of that, how you both doing? You ready to get started again?
Let's do it. Very important, though, some important lore question I have to ask the chat. Who is your favorite trainer? Mine is Big Al, but I want to hear from chat. What's your favorite trainer? All right, so as we are heading into level 8, this is where things get a little bit spicy. Honestly, for me, I think level 3 is probably the biggest choke point of the run, but level 8 is no snooze. Because this is where the wind ramps up its fiercest, and you have to get 320 points down instead of 300, which that may not seem like a lot, like the 20-point difference, but it makes a huge difference. So definitely have to be a little bit careful here. You can approach level 8 the same as you do level 4, where you can opt for 2 bonuses, you can opt for 1 bonus of your choice. I'm going to show you the hardest trick in this entire game that I will not get, and that's the level 8 skydive. I want to show you just how difficult this is, because it's, to say it's difficult is an understatement. You'll notice that the west is at 6 meters per second, or 6 miles, probably 6 miles, I don't know, whatever, MS. So you'll notice it's west, which really stinks because that is pushing you directly right. So you're getting knocked super far, and you have to land on this tiny platform. Good luck.
All right, I put up a poll for best trainer in chat for you, Darkman.
Sweet, appreciate it.
I think it's working. I don't see it.
Unfortunate.
So far, there's 2 votes for Lance.
Okay, so you can see it? Okay.
Okay. Let's go. I'll respect that. Yeah, so as you can see, the trying to do skydiving on 8 is possible. I've never even practiced it because no, I'm good. maybe in like 10 years when I go for the world record, I'll practice it. But yeah, I would not recommend doing that strat. So instead, let's pick from our 2 options here. We have rocket belt or hang glider, or both maybe. Again, me, I'm a hang glider main, so I'm of course going to do hang glider. So yeah, the wind is a very much a factor here. The rings are smaller, but the objective shouldn't give you too much trouble, really. You should be able to kind of like maneuver through pretty easily. Just be very cognizant of the wind. You'll have to be going down, so press up instead of like down a lot to make sure you're at the appropriate altitude. And then make sure you don't get tricked by the wind here as you're trying to hit the little boost here. Notice how like I'm like tilting to the left a lot just to make sure I don't miss the cloud boost. So take your cloud boost. Again, you don't want to hold up here or you don't want to hold down here. You definitely want to like kind of like get to the proper altitude. So we're here. Now we try to land the hang glider. Pretty much do the same approach as I do in 4. So then I go to like choose the altitude. Now here comes the fun part, where you want to really be away from the target because you're just gonna get like super pushed over there.
Oh yeah, I see that. That's some mega wind.
That is a mega wind, right? So I'm actually really high. This is kind of bad. All right, we saved that. So that's again, that's like the benefit of having like side wind instead of like tailwind. So yeah. All right, so now we're gonna mash again. Let's see, can I get a 50?
Yeah, I think something with polls right now just isn't working. Because so far there's only 4 votes and I can't see it. So I tried, Darkman. I tried.
I appreciate it. Who's winning the 4-vote poll anyway?
Well, no, I can see it. There's 4 votes for Big Al. There's 1 vote for Lance, 1 vote for Shirley, 1 vote for Tony. Now 5 votes for Big Al.
Ooh, okay, all right. See, we got some, some Big Al fans here. So we hit our 145. We still need 175 points. So this is still kind of spicy. We're gonna go ahead and skydive here for me because yeah, skydiving is pretty hard. Even just doing skydiving normally, it's pretty hard. So again, use the wind to your advantage. And there we go. Open my chute here. Let the wind push me. Flare up as needed.
Is there a general altitude you usually go for skydiving for pulling the chute?
Really? So I was kind of trying to explain a little bit earlier in that if you are like, I don't know the exact number, but if you're like less than like 350-ish, and you try to open your chute, you're just gonna crash. Like, you have no chance. So really, it's about, for like normally playing through it without getting bonus, it's about just kind of getting as close as possible to that, because you go faster, just falling than you do with the parachute, of course, right? So you want to save time. But play to your comfort level, right? Like, if you think you need like the extra, because like the thing is like if you're closer to the ground, you have less time to maneuver towards the target. So if like you're less confident in your movement, like open the chute earlier. Don't open the chute too early, because then you may miss out on the speed bonus because you took too long. So, just like keep that in mind. But yeah. So yeah, I got 90 points. That's pretty good, honestly. Like, I'm really happy at 90 because all that's left is Rocket Belt. So we just need 85 points. It's pretty easy, right? So, I did mention about the 2-point thing being a deal because welcome to the most annoying thing about this game, the bouncy balls. Alpha, how much do you love the bouncy balls?
I didn't know they could do the things you told me yesterday. Although this level did scare me because I used the top-down view to line myself up, and it makes things look a lot taller when there's no tall in this game.
Ah, yes. Okay, so look at the bouncy balls. What? If I can hit the bouncy ball. They make me go up, or they make me go down. So
Depending on which way they're going when they hit you.
Yeah, which way they're going, which way you're going, that sort of thing.
That's awful. So they can just slam you into the ground?
Sure can. Goodbye 2 points.
Especially if it happens in the last one. Goodbye landing.
Uh-huh. I'm trying to like illustrate like how annoying this is.
It already looks annoying with this wind you're dealing with. Whoa.
There we go. That's what can happen.
It is a good bouncing sound.
It is a good bouncing sound. So the key, honestly, is to like be as high as possible. So that way, like, there's a pretty good chance you're not gonna get bounced down that way. All right. So I'm just gonna go ahead and land this sucker. I need 85 points. I basically need 90. So I need to be in the innermost ring, but not necessarily in the dead center. It's here. Okay, should be good. Whatever, good enough. I think I got the speed bonus, maybe? Ooh, I didn't get the speed bonus. That's unfortunate. Alright, so you know what this means. I need 3 points.
Backup time.
Backup time. So, the objective here is to get the arch 2 times. I didn't actually know you can get 20 points per arch. I thought you have to get it 2 times. Huh. The more you know. And guess where the arch is, everyone?
Behind you.
To the left, yeah. Okay, this time I'm pretty confident in my strat, because I've practiced this actually recently. Just like lower my speed a little bit. That should be good. Alright. The arch is moving, but don't matter. Alright, see ya. So yeah, you have to actually get that arch twice if you're actually doing the objective, but yeah, we only did 3 points. So. Right, I'm just going to create a save state real quick, but I'm going to go back to 8 real soon. Alright, so I'll just do that there. Actually, I wanted to create a save state at a different point, but it's fine, we'll do that later. Okay, so yeah, so that's like the hang glider strat that I do. You could attempt to do the rocket belt strat. Let's see how poorly I do. But yeah, that does mean if you're doing the rocket belt strat, that does mean you have to land the hang glider reasonably well, because again, you have to get 320 points. That's a lot. How did I not hit that? The bouncy balls, they really are annoying.
They really do bounce, though.
Thank you. Bouncy balls, by the way.
Just a ball game. Standard ball game.
Is this the real reason why Boney loves this game?
Probably.
There was somebody in the Speed Seasons Discord who thought that when we were teasing up the blame Boney for this, they thought that meant it was going to be a ball game.
I mean, that's fair.
I do know some people knew that Boney picked one game, but they were never going to guess this in a million years.
Come on. Alright, come on. There we go. Alright, let's see if we can get this platform over here. Okay, so this is nice in that you can kind of use the wind to your advantage here. Because like you can be like straight. That's unfortunate. You know, sometimes it just be like that. Oh, by the way, the equipment is expensive. Let's try again. See if I can actually do the this bouncy balls better. I'll probably just like it's easier here. Let's see. Really? My spatial awareness of this objective is like so bad. Excuse me? How did I miss that? I want my money back. Alright, there was no way I was getting that one. That's fine. It's like the one potential, I guess, hang up. It's just like, you could spend like minutes trying to get these stupid things and it's really annoying. Alright, here we are. Save me. Nope. Sweet. Alright. Try to land here. Alright, let's use the wind to our advantage here. Again. Kind of all about that. Kind of all about like resetting your momentum here with the back boosters. Okay. Alright, I see what's going on here. Let's see if we can do this here. Nice! We did it. And then what kind of bonus we got here? 3. So we should be able to get a pretty good score here. Let's go for the maximum score. Alright, so... Okay, we're gonna get this first one here. Just need to hit the second trampoline here. Don't need to worry about the third trampoline, wherever that may be. And just use that momentum to your advantage. And there we are. Perfect. So that's 60 points. So now you're in the driver's seat. Honestly, at this point, let's go for the hang glider bonus. Because why not? So yeah, so that's like the sad thing is like, with this strat, with level 8, you can't do rocket belt and hang glider and actually pass with 2 because you can only get 50 points on hang glider. You have to do skydiving, which is quite unfortunate, but you know, that's what it is. So yeah, you know, you kind of have like a few different options here with what you want to do. I think rocket belt is very doable for people who prefer rocket belt, and I think hang glider is very doable too. So really, like level 8 is, even though it's the last like trainer level, it's honestly, I don't think it's like that bad. When you're doing bonus, when you're not doing bonus, then it's like really bad. But you know, fortunately, we have bonus. So yeah, I don't think you'll struggle mightily on this level. You'll probably maybe struggle a little bit, but it's basically like using everything that you learned up until this point, and if you use it correctly, you will do fine. Maybe. Okay. Alright, well, I am in a weird position right now, but we're gonna try to fix this. I think we should be okay. I'm going really fast right now. It's not good at all. Nope. Alright, well. Yeah, it's like there. I really didn't set myself up for success there. I kind of like rode the wind instead of kind of using it to my favor. So that's like what you need to be aware of with the hang glider. Just kind of have to be careful. So yeah, I think that's pretty much covers 8. Really like covered every discipline that needs to be covered. Oh, so yeah, we'll just go ahead and move on to our last one, which is Helicopter 2. So it is the same thing, except there are increased turrets. So I'm gonna go ahead and show you the increased turrets here in the helicopter mission. Also, shoot, very important. Like, it is required that you shoot the helicopter when it means absolutely nothing. Would you agree with me, Alpha?
Yes.
Okay.
Right, you can shoot right and then left, and then when that particular missile explodes, you know, you can shoot again, which is why being low to the ground is important, because then you can shoot more.
Ah, I didn't consider that.
Oh my god, that turret almost sniped you?
That's fine.
The meanest turrets ever.
So the beginning is pretty much the same. Maybe they fire a little bit faster. That's about it. This part right here is a little bit trickier. Because there's more turrets. You can kind of see what we're dealing with here. That's bad. I missed. Ah! Alright, alright, alright. Oh, okay, okay, alright, alright.
It feels like some of these guys lead their shots.
I think they do.
Nah, they don't. Oh god!
You sure about that?
That was just me being bad. It's like catching you off guard, right? Like you're like in a turn already, and you don't like adjust appropriately. It's also like multiple bullets are being fired at you, so like you reacted to one, but you didn't react to the other one. So that's like what really throws you off your game. Yeah, it's like, it's really just juking. Like, juke appropriately and you should be fine. I did not bomb them hard enough before, because clearly the evil syndicate is back. Alright, let's see here. It's not firing enough, alright? Thank you. Like, I don't know why, but sometimes they just, like, don't fire. It's really annoying. Right,
They're either luring you into a false sense of security, or they just had to stop and reload.
You're right, you're right, you're right.
And even
Like
if it
this
is the latter, they'll probably claim the former.
Yeah. Like this point here, I just don't understand. Like, why are they not firing at me? Alright, we'll just kill this one up north here for a moment. There's a hidden turret here. Yes, there is. Just kill it for good measure. Okay. And can land. Again, it's the same thing. Just more turrets. Yeah, you want to kind of like, oh yeah, in terms of like helicopter maneuvering, it's like, yeah, same kind of concept in that like you're tilting up or down to kind of like change your momentum. It can get a little spicy when you're at the bottom, because like you may move a lot faster than you intend to. Not a big deal. Like you can take it super slow. You have a lot of fuel, so just like, yeah, take it super slow. That's a water?
What?
No. Not that in the sense that that is water, but that's in the sense that like I landed in the water there.
That cost me, that particular style of landing cost me a sub 5 hour when I played it for the first time.
Like I said, don't do that.
Very upset.
We'll just get back there really quickly. What? I disagree. Don't mind me. Just, you know, following along. Alright, let's actually do this. I can't, like, not show the credits. It's very important.
It is.
Very kind of them to just fire one turret at me. Oh, there's 2 more hidden ones here. Alright, just happened to YOLO one. It's always good. It's the same position, but it's like... It's really hard to like know the exact position of it and just kind of like YOLO fire. I might have almost gotten hit there, but
Your helicopter blades just needed a little bit of a trim. It's fine.
yeah.
I feel like helicopter blades are the things that should be doing the trimming.
Hey, it's finally firing. Alright. Let's try this again. Oh yeah, there's a hidden turret there. Just, you know. Yeah, that's right. I did that.
I know that feel.
I wasn't gonna say anything, and then you did.
I mean, you chuckled. You said something. Okay, so just gotta be careful here. Don't want to go too fast. Don't want to go too slow either, because I'm gonna just drop too hard. Got 76 in there. Okay, this is much better. All right. So we see the ending. Yeah, I love the stick figures. I'm like the balls for heads. And then we get to show Alpha's favorite part of the game.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, so the story for this part of the game is that the evil syndicate kidnapped Big Al's brother because he's a politician who stands against them.
And then time ends right here, so as you see this screen. We are the golden Pilotwings. It's a lot of stars. And then we see this wonderful ending.
It's just so intense.
So serial.
Very surreal.
You know, you find out Big Al is wearing an admiral's uniform instead of a tracksuit.
Like, why is he an admiral if he's not licensed to fly planes?
He's only licensed to drive motorcycles.
Yeah. Wait, are they crying? It almost looks like they are. Alright, I guess it's just the weird shading.
Yeah, it definitely looks like Shirley's trying.
Admiral Al.
That's Admiral Big Al to you.
I'm sorry, forgive me.
Or Big Admiral Al, I don't know which one you prefer.
Admiral Al. Big Admiral.
He got his own rank, Big Admiral.
Alright, well, there's one more thing to try. Not this. This.
Oh.
And that's... We're doing the nighttime strat.
Oh boy.
Little yeah, this is gonna be fun. I want to see how far I can get. I don't think I've ever tried it before.
If
What's
you
up?
get to the end, it'll be... Oh boy.
Well, I mean... That's probably like... I'm probably the only person that have done that. Like, you know, that's not a task. Like on recording, if I actually managed to do it.
Almost certainly.
Maybe. Like Hayfield has probably done it, but like, you know, never tried attempting it in Oron because, you know, actually attempting this is you're a madman.
Someone in chat says Admiral.
Admiral.
Big Admiral.
I almost landed in the water. I wasn't paying attention.
5 feet.
Not even close.
So I've always wondered why a stealth rescue mission is being, you know, flown. You're just using an Apache helicopter for this.
Like the random swerves.
It's the only way to do it. Oh, there it is.
Instant.
It's so hard. But yeah, that's Pilotwings. I've pretty much gone through the whole game. Honestly, the moral of the run is to find your comfort zone, for lack of a better word, lack of better words. It is never going to be super comfortable. You're going to need to learn to like really just kind of like learn to maneuver the skydive, learn to maneuver the hang gliders. You gotta kind of like learn to maneuver these things, right? Like you have to see like why like I'm doing this right instead of this, right? Like there's so many different nuances between like, you know, the different directions in skydiving or something like that. Just like play around with things, see what they do, and kind of like learn off of that, right? That's like the biggest thing that's gonna help you, and then you kind of learn the speed strats from there, right? It's a fitting end to the tutorial where I land in the water. So, but yeah, I think I pretty much covered everything I wanted to cover. I don't know if Alpha, you have any words?
Everyone join this game. While it looks incredibly intimidating, is a lot of fun, and once you get that feel, your time will immediately improve.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it is an incredibly huge struggle at first to play this game, but once you kind of get used to it, I think it's really fun. Some people disagree with me, but you know, I think it's really fun. So yeah, I think it pretty much covers it for me. If you have anything else, Ray, feel free to.
Didn't you want to plug your submissions, Alpha?
Oh yeah, so yeah, as you know, this is the last tutorial we've had for Speed Seasons. Like we're done. This is the last game. And so on speedseasons.com, I've linked a forum for, you know, just to put out a feeler for ideas of other games that you think would be great in the Speed Seasons format. It helps, you know, me put on another event like this sooner rather than waiting, you know, another 3 years ish for another season. There's a lot of games I would have often overlooked. This game was suggested by Boney, and then nobody said no, and so here we are. There's got to be something better somewhere. But this game is wonderful. But yeah, it really helps out with me going through and figuring out what games to do. Because this list, despite there only being 7 games, I was at 20 on a short list that took me like a month to make, and then I went through everything involving all of these games and came up with a curated list that we've presented out so far. So, you know, if I have a bunch of people giving me ideas, it makes that job a lot easier. So yeah, just go to speedseasons.com. It's right in the nav bar. You can click on that link and fill out a Google form. Help me out.
All right. Thanks, Darkman, for doing the tutorial, and Alpha for hanging out. That's going to be it for us tonight. As a quick reminder, you can see all of our upcoming shows on gamesdonequick.com/hotfix. There's a calendar there showing all of our upcoming shows. If you missed any shows you'd like to see, you can head on over to our YouTube, where you put up VODs of all of our shows there. And of course, if you tune in tomorrow, starting at 7 p.m. Eastern, Time Capsule is going to have part 2 of the Final Fantasy X speedrun that they started 2 weeks ago. Just had to split it across multiple shows because that speedrun is long. But Besides that, we're going to call it there for tonight. We're going to take a quick little break, and then we're going to find somebody to raid. So if you stick around here for a few minutes, we're going to raid someone who's doing some more speedrunning content tonight. Otherwise, we will see you tomorrow.
Bye. Have fun playing this game.